So hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It is the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club Qualifier race number 3. No, it's not MWC, it's SRC. It is Matt Payne here, live in the studios with Emma Martin. Emma, how are you doing today?
I'm good, but you're very loud.
I am. I'm full of beans, full of coffee. Had a really nice breakfast. I'm all raring to go. The studio is actually working completely 100% so far, which is probably the commentator's curse. And I'm looking forward to Alula.
Well, we are indeed heading to Alula, 37.4 kilometres of racing today, 515 metres of climbing. And we come out of the start pen and straight in to the Alpha Hills section, which is not a segment today, just a nice little warm up because the first segment of the day is a sprint segment at the 6.9 kilometre marker at the Alula Market Sprint checkpoint. Then we transition towards the Vessel Rock climb. That checkpoint comes at 18.4. It's a multi-stepped climb, 6 steps on that climb before we then drop down through the Face Rock Sprint checkpoint, and then the Sting in the Tail, which is the 2 climbs off of the Vessel Rock Plateau. We then drop right down into the desert through the Alula Desert Sprint checkpoint at 28.9. There's 3 sneaky rollers in there just to test the legs of our riders before we get to the final climb of the day. It's 2.3 kilometres with an average gradient of 4.9%, and it finishes 500 metres before the checkered flag. Well, it is going to be interesting racing today, Matt, because we have a real mixed bag of riders on the start sheets. Some of those who are indeed participating in the MyWhoosh Championships. Of course, today is the rest day. Others who aren't and whose legs will be a lot fresher.
They certainly will. So, for those of you who maybe have not been watching, who are not aware, the MyWhoosh Championship, the $1 million US prize funded 7 stages across 8 days championship is on its rest day today. We've done 5 amazing stages in the women's and the men's races, and you can watch all of that back on the MyWhoosh YouTube channel. But today's the rest day, and that does mean that a number of riders are quite literally taking a rest. They're not going to race the SRC, but it does mean for others there's the opportunity to maybe go and hit the positions, the higher positions that they maybe can't because some of the big hitters in their category are not here. And we do have a smaller, compact and bijou, but top quality race field in all 6 of our race categories in the women's and men's. The women's races up first. You can see the riders lined up down on that start line at the moment. Our category 6 riders will be the first of our riders away. And we do have some of our teams represented here today. Great to see Cycling 6. I said I got loads of coffee. We'll have to get more. Cycling District 6. Susanna Lopes. We've got the Kitty Hawk Racing Moonpaw Squad, captained by Melissa Scriven. We've got Kitty Hawk Racing Skyclaw, captained by Manon Holtman. Level Phoenix, represented by Rachel Hooker. And Tinglu, representing the Strawberry Squad.
Yes, really good to see. 14 riders on the start sheet. It is a petit and bijou peloton today here on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club in the women's race. But that does not mean we will not see grand racing. The racing will be large. The racing will be epic. Never discount whoever is on that start line. Well, away go the category 6 riders on the Sunday Race Club today. They're out into Alula, and 3 riders on the front here: Barco, Almeida and Holtman. Limbaga closing the gap down and pushing on strong.
Indeed, Angelica Limbago onto the front of this group. Limbago, one of those riders hitting the start here, heading out on to the race route here. So Angelica Limbago, the rider, making the most of this. On my start sheet's number 9. But there you go. That's my start sheet's mean nothing, those numbers, because they are They are basically based on the number of riders who are there in the field. So Limbago going off the front, Jacqueline Almeida in the pack here as well. Jacqueline Almeida, I think, did she not take second place last week?
Yeah, she did indeed. And let's just have a little run through, shall we, of how the race rolled out last week. So last Sunday, Race Club, well, if you can remember that far back, the riders were in Tel Marib, 34.7 kilometres of racing, 335 metres of climbing. A little bit different to today. And it was Agudelo who took the win in Category 6 from Almeida, from Stevenson. Sarasu was in 4th and Hamilton was in 5th. And it was indeed, well, Sarasu took the climbing competition and Hamilton took the sprint competition. Well, Adriana Barco is in this leading group at the moment. You can see that big first strong push from Angelica Limbago off at the start pen today has already caused splits in the group. We've now got this Category 6 group in 3 groups. Barco part and parcel of this first one. 6 riders already split into the leading group. Fielder is there, Holtman, Limbago Almeida, Barco and Lopez.
And great to get the shot down into Adriana Barco's pain cave there, making sure that we get that view is really important. So if you are racing today, get into that Zoom room, make sure you follow the instructions, put your name to match the name on screen. So if you're Jacqueline Almeida, that is Jacqueline Almeida. Don't put in any other names, nicknames, pen names. Don't have it named as your iPhone number 6 or iPhone 15 or whatever it is, or Android device. Home Wi-Fi network, whatever it is, it doesn't want to be. He wants to be the name that you race under on the Zoom room, and then make sure that you set it to auto rotate. And in fact, Jacqueline Almeida has indeed done that. So got the correct name. I got it on landscape with auto rotate, and you can see there the great shot there. I have to say, I'm liking the bike in the work stand in the background. The 2 bikes there on the turbo trainers as well, and Jacqueline Almeida very, very comfortably pedaling along in this lead group, and I think we're going to see her figuring strongly throughout today.
We are indeed, and the 6 riders in the leading group in Category 6. There's a real pleasure in numbers there. Melissa Scriven has Camilla Belle for company, as well as Rachel Hooker. This is a second group on the road. They are at 14 seconds. Settled in, comfortably, moving strongly, actually. 31 kilometres an hour, this group, at the 1.8 kilometre marker. This group is rolling. It's just that big, big drive that we saw from Limbago onto the front of the pack, who really wanted to get the race underway and split it Scriven on our screens at the moment.
Well, I've got to say, Mel Scriven.
I think she's inferring that she's a little tired after racing the championships all week. Well, all I can say, Melissa Scriven, is you chose to be here today.
All power to anybody and everybody who goes out and races today. Mel, give us a thumbs up if you're enjoying the Are you enjoying the stage race? So give us a thumbs up if you enjoy. Yep, enjoying the stage racing. Are you looking forward to the time trial? What do you think? Time trial, is that good or bad for you? Oh, shake your hand. Okay. Yeah,
it's
the bit
flat
at the
and
end.
Then it goes up. I'm loving the multiple methods of communication.
We've got to get them in there. One day we'll be able to hear from our riders, which is always dangerous because it is live.
Oh my goodness!
So we'll be using all of our live skills when we go with that one. But one day, I dream of those days rather than just trying to get thumbs up, thumbs down, a bit like a gladiator in the Colosseum. Okay. Let's move to Category 5. Cycling District 5 with Ana Sobreira, along with Helia Santos, representing the Portuguese squad. Both very strong riders as well. Sobreira potentially the stronger of the two, but we will see how Santos goes on today. The race field about to leave the pens in Category 5. We're in with Annalyn Tjeros leaving here. She's up and away already. Just taking a little look through. Interestingly, I'm seeking both our resident artist, that is
Knowles is here.
Knowles. I'm also seeing Tjeros. Tjeros has been riding in the championships, and we've had a regular view into the pain cave of Annalyn Tjeros. I've been really impressed by Tjeros' riding. She's such a strong rider, and you can see that she's so focused on making sure that she gets to the end of each and every stage and completing, getting that tick in. MyWhoosh Championship, tick, done. Sunday Race Club, tick, done. Really, really brilliant to see.
Yeah, it is indeed. And 10 starters, I think, in this race field today in category 5, 3, 6. No, actually, there's 11 because I missed the rider off the back of the group. We're having a steady start, and that's Chizekowicz at the moment, Giuliano, Fu, Tejeros, all in the mix in the leading group. And we're seeing well, Chizekowicz now dialing on to try and get onto the back of the group. And she might well do that, and we will watch that and keep that going. Now, a number of the riders have indeed been taking part in the MyWhoosh Championships. Knowles, one of them, so is Alzat. Both of those riders in that leading group. Nikki Lloyd is here, Joanna Warren is here, Geraldo. It's going to be a really interesting race today. A number of those riders with fresher legs.
And in terms of what happened in qualifier number 2, last week's winner, Gabrielle Marshall, has been riding the championships. She's not here. But are the other riders on the podium here today?
Yeah, Knowles and Alzat are here. They took 2nd and 3rd last week. There is Karolina Chizekowicz on your screen at the moment, and you can see the high cadence there trying to push. I think she might have technical issues today, or she's got an issue with the bike, because that is massive cadence she's putting out there at the moment. And, we shall see what is happening.
It looks like it's stuck in first gear, so she's not able to get the power down. And that's often what can happen with the bike. It could be that there's an issue with the changes, with the gear changing, particularly if it's digital. You can't just shove the gear lever through. If it's on an electronic shift, there is the potential for more to go wrong, and a more difficult fix, because you've got to go into your phone and reprogram it or reset it. And of course, once you've got to do that reset, if you're in the middle of racing on the same phone, you're in trouble. So sometimes simple is good.
Yeah, well, Nikki Lloyd, Montoya, Knowles, Tejeros, Loxley in the mix here at the front of the group as well.
I think there's a really high proportion, actually, of riders in here who have been racing on the MyWhoosh Championship. Alexander Knowles in here. The artwork in the background. We see the cycling ones are in front normally. Nice cap with the Gios hat there. That's a proper vintage hat there with the Italian stripes over the top there. Gios, a quality frame manufacturer in steel. Good to see Alexandra there. The artwork in the background, not all cycling in the background there. So
there's some animals in the background. A
multi-talented artist. And Alexandra, at some point, I am definitely going to have to get a picture for our studios here at Full Speed Events from you, because that is, I absolutely love the fact people are creative. That is fantastic to see. And I'm also wondering whether that is a piano at the side as well, because often people who are creative artistically are creative musically as well.
Well, did you know that people who play music, you did just pretend to play a keyboard, but people who are good at reading music also good at maths.
Are they?
There's a relationship between the ability to read music and maths.
Is that why I'm so rubbish at playing the guitar?
I've no idea. Whilst Matt ponders his lack of mathematical ability as well as musical talent, Warren, Fu and Lloyd. You walked right into that one.
I suppose I did.
Fu, Lloyd, Giuliano, all in the mix here. They're at the 2.2 kilometre marker, and you can see from the top right-hand corner of your screen, they're about to come into the Alpha Hills. It's the roller section. It is not a segment on the course today, but it is part of the parkour, and the riders will feel it under their wheels. You can see the Category 6 riders already on their way through. Category 4, well, they're down in the start pen.
So Category 4, down in the start pen, the moment getting ready to set off on to the race. Cycling District 4, represented by Anna Freyas. Going to see if we get as high a proportion of starters in Category 4 who are racing the championship. So we got in Category 5, because that was one of the things I noticed. Category 5, lots of the riders there actually riding the championships as well. High proportion in that race field. Let's have a little look. On paper, on our start list, it says Category 4 have a high proportion as well. We will be looking at those, see who has taken to the start line today. Rosa Herrera already up and riding with Georgia Perry up near the very front here. Frias as well. Looks like Restrepo and Hill pushing on very strongly, or very much from the start here today. We have had Laura Taconis move out of Category 3. In terms of last week in Category 3 in those podiums, Hill was riding strongly, wasn't she, if I remember right?
Yes, she was, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see how she goes today. Catherine Montoya took the win here last week. Philippa Hill came in second, and Larissa Heibor came in third. Just 3 seconds separating those top 3 riders. It was really close. We're in with Veronika Ciciolka here on our screens, and she's tapping out a nice rhythm in that leading group at the moment. Now, there were and are 23 riders on start sheets. 3, 6, 9, 12. I think maybe 13, 14 riders taking to the start. Ciciolka giving us a wave, looking like she's enjoying her riding today.
She is, and she's racing the MyWhoosh Championships. Finished stage 5 up the Mount Fuji climb. She was 35th in Cat 3 on the way up there. Some top 20 positions on the way through those stages, but all 5 stages done. So congratulations, Veronica, for making it this far and making it to the rest day, and then being crazy enough to keep on racing. All power, everybody who keeps on doing it. But there is the opportunity for those who haven't been racing to get in there, but Mongelli, De Grazia, Corrales, Prado, Beltran, all in here. I'm looking to see if Montoya has hit the start and haven't seen her in here so far because
who?
Catherine Montoya.
Oh, I haven't seen her. I don't think she's on the start sheets, and I don't think she's in the race. I'm just taking a quick look. She's not.
She's on my start.
She's on the start sheets, but she's not on the start. She hasn't taken to the start. But Rosalina Barragan is here. Gina De Grazia is here. I've also seen Rosa Herrera here.
Yes.
And for any of you who know Rosa, will know that she is a phenomenally, while we're talking about creative people, she crochets people.
Explain crocheting first of all.
Oh, I don't know. It's a sort of a little.
This is going to sound. It's using wool to knit.
They don't
create.
Knit. They crochet.
Yeah,
it's not 2 needles. It's a little crochet hook.
Okay.
Yeah. But she crochets people. And bless her at the moment, she is currently crocheting my co-commentator who is sat next to me in the studio.
She must be crazy.
Well, anyway. At the moment, at the 6.9 kilometre marker, the Category 6 race have just gone through the first sprint checkpoint of the day. They've gone through the Alfaquara Hills, and we've got 4 riders clear in the leading group. Jacqueline Almeida, Manon Holtman, Angelica Limbaga, and Adriana Barco. Is Almeida who puts on the green skin suit.
So Jacqueline Almeida, one of those riders who is not racing the MyWhoosh Championship, using the sprint speed to go clear at the front. We're going to jump in with Diana Corrales. Hi, Diana. Giving us a wave there. Morning, afternoon, evening. I think it's middle of the night potentially, depending on whereabouts in the world you are at this moment in time. Diana Corrales riding through. She's completed all 5 stages of the MyWhoosh Championship
as well.
Because the challenge
is never assume the national flag next to the name is the same location in the world.
No, definitely not. Nice bit of flight case there at the side as well. Matt's flight case radar pinging up there, the flight case with the computer on as well. And you can just see Diana in here. She's been top 20 all the way through the MyWhoosh Championships so far. Best position, top 10, 8th in Alula. So clearly likes Alula. She's liked it in the racing so far. And Diana clearly comfortable going back in for 6th day in a row.
Yeah. And if anybody's wondering why riders might race the Sunday Race Club on a rest day from a 7-day, 8-day, 7 stages race, some riders go better if they just keep going. Taking a break actually can cause more challenges to some riders physically than not.
Yes, definitely. I actually like to keep riding rather than have a break. I must admit, I would rather ride through, although I'm not sure I'd race through, but we will see. Okay, let's move on to our next race category. This is Category 3 as we move up from 6 right the way to 1. Crank the Cake team, the multi-talented Lee Sophie Ramet representing them. Cycling District 3, the Portuguese team represented by Liliana Silva. Right 3, we've got Sanchez and Brooke both riding for them. And Soul Cycle Santos squad man front. Golden Light represented by Golden Light as well. The start lister with the addition of Laura Takanos, Category 3. Time for them to go racing. We can see Takanos taking to that start line today as they head out. And again, quite a representation of riders who are continuing racing. And if you're not interested in the MyWhoosh Championships, I have to say you're in for a tough time today because it does give context to the riders and the race performances they put in, because it is a massive thing to have raced those 5. Normally, Sunday Race Club, each and every Sunday. We're not aware of what all the riders have done. Here, we've got a great big chunk of information about what actually people have been doing and how that then affects them in their racing and their riding. So, interesting from a point of view from us as cycling fans, as racing fans. Interesting from the point of view, from a performance and data point of view, and also really interesting to see who hasn't been able to ride the championships and how much they can take advantage of these slightly smaller race fields and riders that are potentially tired. Now, riders who were racing last week on the Sunday Race Club, who was right at the front there, Emma?
Well, in the category 3 race, it was Celia Cassani from Angelica Altamirano and then Kim Bonilla, and 2 seconds separated those 3 riders. Angelina Roa on our screen at the moment, and you can see her part and parcel of the pack. We've got, well, a whole group together this time, which is really interesting. So everyone out of the pen, everybody together here. Roa, Takanis, Beltran, Prado, Silva, all in the mix. Miller is there. Antonello is there. Petra Antonello, one of the newer riders to the Sunday Race Club. I've also noticed we've got a new rider from Finland in the mix as well. Jenny Penttinen joining us too in category 3. Good to see that riders joining the Sunday Race Club.
Yeah, welcome, Jenny.
Welcome to the party.
Yeah, welcome to the party. Angelina Roa, who we just had on screen, one of those riders who I think today will be looking to really score well here today. Racing in the Sunday Race Club, one of our newer riders as well into that, and a rider who I think we're going to be very interested to see how she does. Normally 21st, 22nd is the kind of position that she's going to be racing in. Today she's got a chance to crack into, I think, the top 5 or top 3, depending on how well she goes here today. And a rider who seems to go better on the courses with climbs throughout the duration. So it'll be interesting rather than just one big climb in the middle. So having that climb at the end may well be to her advantage today. We'll have to see. So interestingly, we'll see how Angelina Roa gets on. I'm sure we'll be dipping into our riders' cams as we go out through the course of today's racing here in Alula. 37.4 kilometers in distance, 516 meters of ascent. So not a flat course by any stretch of the imagination.
No, not at all flat. But, well, Lee Sophie Rammer in the mix here, Anna Emmering, Jermaine Prado, Kimberly Miller. The pack rolling steadily, I think is the phrase I'm going to use. And that's because if you look at Kimberly Miller, the rider who is highlighted in blue, it's her stats on the screen. And there she is on your screens as well, with the large window by her side. You can see as they go into the climbing section, well, she's now just pushed zone 4, zone 3, zone 2, zone 6. She's shooting up and down between those zones at the moment. She had a very steady state coming in. She was zone 1, zone 2 coming in. And then as they approach the climbs, watch that bar. She's sat at zone 2 at the moment, which indicates to you she's at a very steady state. The type of zone 2 work, you can hold a conversation really easily whilst riding at zone 2, not out of breath. However, take a look because it is all about to change as they go into the Alpha Qua Hills.
And Kimberly Miller, a great rider in the normally rolling around about those top 20 positions again, normally on the Sunday Race Club in Category 3, has ridden right the way through the MyWhoosh championships as well. And again, she could push herself up there. But interestingly, her last race, qualifying number 1 on the Sunday Race Club, Miller, she was 8th. So really a good improvement there. She's really started to come good coming into the championship. So she's a real indicator how she goes. She's raced this already this week, if you count Sunday as being part of the old week and not the first day of the new week. Because, of course, this section, the Alpha Car Hills, were part of one of those stages on the MyWhoosh Championships, and were in fact a segment. Today they're not, are they? And I think this is going to be really interesting how the riders approach this, because they are nasty little rollers, aren't they? And riders like Lorena Beltran will know exactly what it feels like coming up and coming down.
Yeah, she will. She will indeed know what it is like. And Lorena Beltran on your screens at the moment. And you can see the iPad in front of her. That's what she's riding and racing on. And she's up and out the saddle, and you can see punchy drives on the uphills, and then sitting back down into the saddle on the descents, just making sure she does enough and stays in the group.
Yeah, a quality rider, Lorena Beltran, moving nice and smoothly through at the moment. And it looks like that group all holding together on the first few of those rollers that go up over the top. So category 6, 5, 4, and 3 away. A 5-minute gap on the Sunday Race Club between each of those race categories. 10-minute gap between category 3 and 2, and that's then 5 minutes then between 2 and 1. That little bit of an extra gap at the moment just does give us a little bit of time to take a run through. So the riders at the moment out on course, category 3 currently at the 3.6 kilometre marker as the wildlife runs past in the distance. Now, Germain Prado riding once again. Day, I don't know how many in a row for Germain Prado, but she's such a regular rider. I think she must train and race every day. Good to see Germain on our screens. Multi-time national champion.
Yeah, she's a phenomenal
road champion,
rider.
Time trial champion, esports champion. Brilliant rider. And I think for me, she's really shown her team strength because she's been riding with two of the young stars from the Philippines as well. And I think she's that inspirational captain every team needs. They're going to look up to her and the performances she's put down on the road on esports and go, do you know what I want to be like Jim? And I want to have a Palmares where you've got those multiple titles to your name.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something. Alta Marino and Bonilla, the two riders Matt is talking about there, the young under-23 riders from the Philippines. Well, she's done a great job bringing them on. I'll tell you that, because they are becoming stars of the show, and really great to watch them. We're not watching them today. We've been watching them all week on the MyWhoosh Championship. So it's going to be interesting to see how they go. Now, one rider riding strongly today, Karen Michelle Machando de Pavia at the moment. She's driving strongly here, the rider from Brazil, because in the mix in this group on these climbs. Now 7 rollers form this part of the climbing section. Lots of bridges, as you can see here. And it's a punchy drive up the climb, and then a recovery as quickly as possible to drop that heart rate on the descent. And Machando de Pavia just showing us exactly how that's done. And look at the pain cave. There's lots of trophies in there, all different sizes and shapes. And I'm not sure they're all about cycling.
100% they're not, because some of those are motor racing circuits and motorcycling as well. So fantastic too.
Multi-talented riders.
Well, so many motorbike racers ride a bike.
Yeah, as in a bicycle.
A bicycle for training and actually race on a bike. And I've raced against plenty of them over the years. Everybody, I mean, even riders who have transferred and decided, well, do you know what, I don't want to be raced on the motorbike. One of the women I know, Sam Berman, and I think, Emma, you might know her from racing against Sam Berman actually on the cyclocross. Great motorcyclist, a motorcycle racer, but her very regularly racing and now almost exclusively racing on the bike rather than the motorbike.
Well, options available, and there are indeed, and great to see multi-sport athletes racing on the Sunday Race Club. Now, Category 6, our first race field out of the pen, down the road at the 13-kilometre marker. They are moving really strongly today. On the right-hand side of your screen, Category 3, they have been out of the pen for now nearly 10 minutes. There's a 5-minute gap between Category 6, Category 5, Category 5 and Category 4, Category 4 and Category 3, and then a 10-minute gap back to Category 2 starting. They will shortly be out of the pen. Well, we drop into that pen with the Category 2 riders, and you can see a number of teams present today. Abus Esports here with Schneider and Roach. Core with Karamani and Simmons. Riot 2 with Reese and Eck here representing United Cadence.
So our regular teams are represented on that entry list. They are very much going to be seeing whether they can take themselves up to the 4 as they make their way into the finish. So here in the commentary box, I think Emma has decided she's got 2 speeds today, flat out or fast asleep. Because it is for everybody involved. The team in the commentary behind the scenes, putting the racing together at MyWhoosh, as well as the broadcast. We're all now working our way through, hopefully getting into a bit of a rhythm, I think, is one of the things. And I think that's one of the points here for our Category 2 riders. They're racing here. Category 2 is always super competitive. We've got a lot of the riders, once again, who are racing right the way through the MyWhoosh Championships, racing here on Sunday Race Club in the qualifier number 3. It's a 5 Sunday month, so you've got a lot of opportunities to race 4 qualifiers. You've got the public qualifiers for the UCI Championships as well thrown into that mix. So there's a lot of racing. It really is an intense part of the season, and I think that's something that the riders need to take in and on board. And I have to say, I'm just going to dive very quickly back to Category 3 because I did want to do a double check before I actually said this. Category 3 with no Bonilla and Alta Marino, as far as I can see, racing today. Yep. I think that's a really smart move because when you're younger, it's very easy to over race, and I think as a coach, I mean, you would always be guarding against that with the younger riders, wouldn't you?
Yes, for numerous reasons. You know, the older you are, the better your endurance. You know, the younger you are, it tends to be, you know, not there as much. And riding, yes. Racing, no, for me, for those 2 under 23 riders today. But then that's my personal opinion. You know, everybody else has their own. Now, Natalie Yaramillo on your screens at the moment, and you can see her there. Curtains drawn, pain cave down by the side of the sofa. Really handy. You can sit down, watch some TV, jump on the bike, get a session done. But Hayley Simmons at the front of the group at the moment. Roble is there as well. Yaramillo watching the pace at the front, monitoring what's going on. Steady riding at the moment in this group. But then a number of these riders have been racing.
And Jaramillo is one of them, racing in Category 2 on all of the stages of the championships. She's raced Qualifier 1 and 2. She's been on the missions as well as part of the MyWhoosh in that pursuit of yellow mission that was in honour of the Tour de France, making sure that she got those missions completed as well. She's been riding the Social Collective rides on MyWhoosh, really getting lots of races in and on. The latest of the missions is the Vuelta one, which I think
climbing.
It is a climbing competition, which
it's
is
not a competition; it's a climbing challenge.
It's a mission or a challenge. It is.
It's something for everybody to do together in a social way rather than a competitive way.
You tell our racers that.
Well, it's true.
Tell our riders who are here racing. Rusty Reese once again on our screens. Do you know we see our riders at the moment, day in, day out, week in, week out normally. And I have to say, some of the pain caves, they stay the same. I really like that. It's that consistency. Others change. Rusty Reese's, she changes, she alternates between the headband and the jersey colours there as well. And that's the only thing that changes. The rest of it is all in there.
What I really like about that pain cave, the inset for the bike behind.
It's brilliant.
How cool is that?
In fact,
most people would put a TV in there. Nobody wants to put a TV in there.
If the production crew could just stay on that shot for a little bit longer, please, guys. This is a very personal thing. I'm just going to take a picture of that because I really like that.
You like that idea, do you?
I do. I've just taken a picture, so taking a screenshot of that so that I can replicate that. I know somebody else who would really like that as well. Some friends of mine who have turned what used to be one of the biggest rooms over to a pain cave and bike store.
Well, Wagner, Reese, Haag, Banerjee, Kuma, all in the mix here. Hayley Simmons on the front. They're coming into the Alpha Hill section. They're on the first part of the climb. You can see the bridge. It's starting to roll, and they will drop down the other side. 7 of those rollers
Okay, let's go across to Category 1. Now, Category 1, in theory, has not dropped too many riders in terms of numbers on the Sunday race club, but we will see whether they all take to that start line. On our start list, the breakaways, Gallegos and Alberg in their sweat sensations. In theory, Guerra, Bruni and Fua. Supernova with Tomasi and Kittle. Saris with Wiseman. Cycling District 1 with Caramel and Ablock International. Kulczynski, Holcroft and Hermansen. However, by my start list, this should be around about 24, 25 riders. That's not 24, 25 riders there now.
I think it's about 15.
And Gabby Guerra is in here. Now, Gabby Guerra, absolutely phenomenal riding on the championship. We see her riding week in, week out on the Sunday Race Club.
Putting in phenomenal performances.
Brilliant, brilliant performances. She's a rider who has absolutely targeted and dedicated herself to racing and riding cycling esports, and it is showing in those performances. She's improving personally time and time again. She's clearly shown that she's at the moment the second best rider in those MyWhoosh championships after the world champion Mary Kate McCarthy. Kate McCarthy doing the business on the championships in Category 1, but not on the start list here today, and to some degree that's leaving the door open to Guerra. Guerra is racing everything she can.
Yes, she is indeed, and riding really strongly now. Maria Holdcroft also in here today, as well as Bridget Kiddle. Kiddle, for me, this is a good course for Bridget Kiddle today. I'm really looking forward to seeing her race this. It's short, it's snappy. The longest, steadiest climb is the one at the end, and I'm really looking forward to watching Kiddle race today. Guerra is here, Hermansen is here, Lennon is here, Holdcroft is here, Samara Shepherd is in the mix, Jay Atkin is in the mix too. Susnik is here, Lenin, Alberg, Nevin. It's going to be a really interesting race, this one.
It is. I think it's going to be a bit of a trip into the unknown.
Yeah, but I think that's really good.
Oh,
you know, so Kate McCarthy isn't here. Catherine Fua isn't here. I'm giving you some of the top riders who we would normally see in the mix. And now McCarthy holds the course record on this course, 58.51. So 58 minutes, 51 seconds is the course record. That's going to be interesting to see how this group race it today with the mixed bag. And I say mixed bag as in some fresher legs, some not so fresh legs. Well, Jay Atkin is on our screen at the moment. And you can see there the look of concentration, watching the rest of the racing, not doing too much, sitting in the pack. And you can see at the moment, this is a really, really steady state start at the moment. 106 watts at the moment from Jay Atkin.
And Atkin riding in with this group in so on, really just making sure that she stays in position. She's got a 12th and a 13th. One of our relatively new riders to the Sunday Race Club, participated 5 times in there. She was racing in Category 2 initially. She got a 15th and a 10th. And then she won the finals in Category 2, moved up to Category 1, straight in on Category 1 in 12th, 13th place for the last 2 qualifiers. So definitely a rider who we need to watch out for. Palmer Mongeli's on our screens. Palmer in the paying cave once again with the big headphones on. Palmer in and racing once again. Great to see Palmer Mongeli racing the Sunday race clubs as well. Very, very dedicated rider. Has the lucky position to be able to go out and relax on the beach post racing. And I tell you something, if you are able to chill out, relax, and to be able to relax like Palmer clearly does, it allows you to have that intensity when you race, I think, a bit better. Mongeli here, turning those legs around here, 2.5 watts per kilo. So I think getting in the kilometers, and maybe this is going to be a steady state, because we know that Palmer Mongeli can go very, very, very hard and has got the capability to stay with the elite group no matter what. But I think today choosing a slightly different tactic, and I don't think that's the craziest thing in the world to do today.
No, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. To take your steady state ride as part and parcel of the Sunday Race Club. There's nothing in the rules that say you can't do that.
No, and why not jump on board and join?
Now, this is interesting. Georgia Perry at the front of the Category 4 race, starting to go clear. They are on the Vessel Rock climb, and you can see it's multi-steps, and you can see that on the gradient on the top right-hand corner of your screen. They're currently on a flat transition at the moment, and Perry has now established a 25-second lead over De Grazia, Hill, Restrepo, Frias, those riders in the group behind it. There you go. That's the big chase group behind, and well, out front, Georgia Perry.
A 23-second gap, I think, last time sorry, just flick up on the screen. So Perry working hard here, clear of Hill, Corrales, Soderson, Barragan. Perry's going for a long one. The stages on Sunday race will be shorter than the championship, so more viable to go for a break. And I think that's a good move by Perry. I think Perry here on that Vessel Rock climb, I think really, for me, I think this is a good move. Are we going to see a solo move off from Category 2?
Well, we've seen one or two riders just get distanced, I think. But she says, I'm just doing a double check. Actually, I'm not sure we have. No, nobody distanced through the Alpha Hill section in Category 1 at all. But they are pushing now because 200 metres, there's the banner just coming into sight, is the first checkpoint of the day. And at the moment, Anna Svardström is the rider going for that checkpoint. Svardström pushing and pushing strongly. She's going to pick up the points in that sprint competition. She puts on that green skin suit. Banerjee, Yaramillo, Simmons, Rees all behind. But Svardström picking up the points there. 3 checkpoints in the sprint competition today. The first of them now complete for the Category 2 races. Category 1 on the other side of your screen at the 3.6 kilometre marker. Well, they are now into the Alpha Hills. The punchy rolling climbs, 7 of them in total making up this section of the course. It's a really fun part of Alula to ride, and you can go into Alula on MyWhoosh and ride this on the free ride ability on MyWhoosh, and it really is great fun to explore this world. There's lots of different types of riding, lots of different types of terrain, and these rollers, I love them. They're really great fun.
I think they're really good as well when you go onto the circuit and you use them repeatedly, because I quite like them, and I quite like this type of punch, rest, punch, rest, punch, rest. It's a great way to do a bit of training as well, because you can do a lap, get a rest on the lap, come back round, and then sprint through the roller coaster section here, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Get the kick on the uphills, rest on the downhills. You use it almost like a mini set of mini intervals, but it's much more fun than for me than just doing it by the numbers, because you're doing it by the terrain, and that's a great thing on MyWhoosh. You've got so many different worlds, so many different terrains. You can almost pick what you want to do. Just pick your world out there, pick your route out there, and go with that. If you want something more structured, don't forget, of course, there is the MyWhoosh coaching. So there are the coach sessions that are on there. There's workouts on there, lots of workouts. I mean, hundreds and hundreds, well over 700 workouts. There's also the coach sessions. There's the live coach sessions where the coach is on your screen and talking and taking you through that session. Great way to get engaged in there. A fantastic thing to do. So do jump on board however you want to join in on MyWhoosh. We're just in with Gabriele Penz at the moment, who is just at the moment just taking a little bit of a lean back. You can see there having to share the pain cave
with a car.
I know, but you've got to find space to race and ride where you are. And I think the other good thing, I often think about a car garage, actually, in terms of riding as a great place to actually to go ride, is because, one, you're not going to usually get disturbed by anybody else in the household that's there, but also generally it's quite a cool space where you've not because it's never heated. There's not many people have a heated garage. There's probably some, but
if you
not
heat
many.
your garage, please do get in touch with Matt Fix Pain on social media.
Yes, do.
He'll be really interested to have a conversation with you as to why you are warming your car. Well, it may be that you are warming your car because it's -40 outside.
Well, quite possibly.
Can I tell you?
Seriously, do get in touch.
I'll tell you a little story. Once upon a time, and
that.
many years ago, when I was 17, one of my first cars was so old. Over the winter, I used to give it a hot water bottle and a blanket on the engine to stop it freezing.
I had a car a little like that, a Mini.
Mine was an Austin Allegro.
Oh my goodness, that is like the world's. Was
It
it?
had an
Was it
ice
in?
skating rink
Was
in
it
the
in dirty
passengers'
brown as
floor.
well?
It was. Well, it was all orange,
Oh,
and on the passenger's seat on the floor where the passenger would put their feet, it leaked, and in the winter it would freeze over, and every passenger I put in the car had their own personal ice skating rink. The trials and tribulations of old cars.
old cars for people of a certain age.
I was very young then.
You were
I couldn't afford to
then.
fix it.
Oh, I got away with that as well. So the riders are on the way up over the final climb of the Africa Hills as Emma contemplates age-related revenge here in the commentary studios, here on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. We are in with Category 1, our elite riders making their way in and through. 52 weeks of the year, the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club operates, bringing you the best riders in the world and all of the race fields from Category 1 right the way through to Category 6, all on the race coverage as well. No elitism, not just going to cover the top of the tree. We want to show the entire community because it is a huge community. And I know a lot of people focus on the elites, which we are in with quite rightly because they are so dedicated and so talented. But the community is a key part of what makes cycling esports unique, and the fact that it is global. We've got Australasia represented here. We've got Gabby Guerra representing the Americas. She can do both because she's from Brazil, but currently riding in North America.
Yes.
So the South American part of the continent's being represented, as well as the North American being represented by Guerra. So around the world, as we go into the sprint, big kick going for the line. Sprint segment prize on offer. The riders kicking in there. Atkin going for it, but it was Lisa Hermansen who in the early stages of the MyWhoosh Championship was sprinting well. Sprinting here, going through, taking the sprint segment. So Hermansen, the rider who's going to collect that prize.
Yes, and absolutely brilliant. See, so Lisa Hermansen leading the Category 1 pack through 11 minutes 4 seconds to that point, and you can see they weren't the fastest pack through that point. Anna Svalstrom leading through Category 2, Eva Essler leading through Category 3 and picking up that sprint checkpoint and the points on offer. Diana Corrales picking up Category 4 or leading through Category 4. Joanna Warren leading through Category 5 and Jacqueline Almeida leading through Category 6. Now, all of those riders pick up 5 points in that sprint competition. 2 more sprints to go. Points accumulation is the way that sprint competition is decided. And the rider with the most points at the end of the day will win the sprint overall competition.
They will indeed, and there are prizes for the overall and for the individual segment. All of the prize structure is available on the MyWhoosh website. Just go to mywhoosh.com, go to events, go to the Sunday Race Club. Not the one for the individual race that you can join, but for the general part of that, that is the main page, which has all of the links to the rule book, the rule sets. One rider who will know the rule sets inside out is Shiki Fu. Shiki Fu, a rider who has really shown she has some impressive climbing abilities. I have to say, really, really impressed by the fact that really knowing when to go hard, when to take it just a little bit steady, use those strengths and race to those strengths. Shiki Fu, this is going to be her 10th race here on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. In terms of the Sunday Race Club, taking away a second place, the best so far. Shiki Fu, the winner of Stage 5 on the top of Mount Fuji yesterday. So taking away the stage win. Fu, the race winner in the MyWhoosh Championships yesterday, out and racing here today. So very interesting to see how she goes on. She's got to be thinking climb finish up to the top of the Alula Desert climb, up to the very top of that. That's got to be in her sights. So we'll see if she's able to replicate that win today. We're in with Rutti Rees here in Category 2. Rutti getting some support on the chat, on the live chat, on the YouTube channel. So if you are watching and you want to get in touch very quickly, if you've got any updates, anything that you want to ask us, now is the time. to give us a shout on there if you want to put the support in. So Alex Asano of Detaro Sports, go Rutty, go Brazil. So he's going to be cheering Rutty on as they make the way around the circuit. Category 2 currently at 12 kilometres covered, and we'll see how a race goes today. Second place, her best so far on the Sunday Race Club, is today the day. Rutty Reese goes and takes top
good
spot.
Question.
Good climber.
Yes.
Good climber. Whether or not she's going to be able to outclimb the rest of that Category 2 race field, well, we know Category 2, all our categories are hard to win, no matter whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, or 6, because the categories are so close. You can see Category 1 at the moment, the last rider's away at 9.2 kilometres. The first riders out onto the race route currently at just over 3 kilometres covered. All of these categories out there. This is some of our riders across this race. We just see Melissa Scriven, who is in that group, just coming down off the Vessel Rock climb at the moment on the big descent on the far side with those sweeping turns. Currently at 20 kilometres under the wheels. Category 6 chasers at the moment with Scriven, Lopes and Fielder still together. 3 up ride for them because they're chasing the race leaders. In Category 5, you can see Shikifu back in with the main group here as they come down here. Big kick actually coming from Svarstrom in that category. We're going to dive back in with Mel. Mel, how's it going? It's still going good, still smiling, still got the good and the okay. You've got some riders for company here. It's a bit like a 3-up team time trial. It's got to make it better having 2 riders with you for some company there.
Yeah, and I'm loving the way Matt is now using the camera screens to communicate with the riders and get content for the show. Thank you, Mel.
Yes, please do. I mean, we really do love that. Now, Mel, we got the shaky for the time trial. What's your big? You've got a big goal, I'm sure. That's to get to the end of the championships, but also riding the Sunday Race Club. Was that something that you thought about? You were committed to riding Sunday Race Club before you did the championship, and you've just stuck with it, or was it a bit more of a I might not? Thumbs up if it was commitment. Shake your hand for maybe, and if it's just a really random, what on earth am I doing? Put your thumb down.
Commitment, come on, full on, well done, love it. Strong women. That's what we love to see racing on MyWhoosh. And
well, she's so strong. She's gonna let the rest of the.
I know. Look, she's put a gap in whilst chatting. I mean, honestly. So Fielder and Lopez needing to close the gap down now to Scriven here on the group, and fabulous racing and riding here on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club.
Well,
come on!
I'll ride a
Look at that, 6.9 watts per kilo. That woman's got power.
Wow. I'll tell you something, Mel. You need to eat. Yeah, I was going to say, just ease off a little bit at the moment. You've put 6 seconds into the riders. You're going to need them later on. Let's jump across from Mel Scriven and jump in with our riders in Category 5 on the right-hand side. These are the leaders: Geraldo, Tijeros, and Lloyd at the moment, with Loxley and for company in there. Warren as well. They are currently on their way down the race route. We're in with Annalyn Tijeros, 22.5 kilometres covered, and that puts them on to the climb. So if you remember your course profile, if you've got a nice photographic memory for course profiles, it was flat with little bumps on the way through to the first climb. That big Vessel Rock climb, the first of our climbs today, that has been done and dusted. Limbago in Category 6, taking the climb points on segment 1. You then drop down on that plateau before going through the Face Rock sprint checkpoint, and then it climbs up again, and it actually climbs to a higher altitude than the end of the climb segment, and then drop down the other side through the desert sprint checkpoint. But this is the climb up to the top. So fantastic to see what is in that. I think we can probably get a view of the course profile very shortly. In fact, no sooner. thought about than done. If only I could conjure up lottery tickets that would have winning numbers on them before just with that.
No. Why
So
on
you
earth
could
would
see.
you want to do
No,
that?
that's true. Enjoy what we do too much. Right, in the centre of your screen there, in the centre of this course profile, you can see that we've got the Vessel Rock Climb. That is has been accomplished by Category 6. That is done and dusted, Limbago taking the points. It then drops down. You go through the Face Rock sprint, but then you've got these two peaks to follow to come off the end of the plateau and drop down to the Elusive sprint checkpoint. And shouldn't underestimate the two climbs at the end of that plateau. They really are very, 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 very hard. They're very steep and they are going to test the riders. So if you're struggling, that's a terrible place to go because you've got that big downhill. So I think you've got to not, you've really got to push on that second section almost as much as elsewhere because you've got the drop and the group will pick up speed. So if you lose a group over the top there, it's a bad point to lose. It's easier in some ways to lose them on the climb and get them back just before the summit than it is trying to get them back on that downhill because they'll have that draft advantage. And then you've got that run, with the race today, 37.4K to get to the end of the race route today. That's quite it's quite a way on your own.
It is, but you can tap a rhythm, you can settle into your own race pace, and some riders like that, whether that's off the front or chasing a group, and it is really interesting. But the course today, with that 2.3 kilometre finale, that average gradient of 4.9%, and you can see it's slightly steeper at the front, then it levels off, and then it kicks at the end. It's quite a challenging finish to the race, but here with the Category 4 pack, they're at the 22.6 kilometre marker. They are on this second part to the climb. And one of the things that gets me about this Vessel Rock climb, the segment is at the front onto the big rock plateau. The plateau is not flat, and often it's these second parts to the main Vessel Rock climb, the section that the Category 4 pack are on that is not categorised. That is that really technical section that we see riders go away. And this is the bit you have to watch. Now, Georgia Perry is off the front of the group. Diana Corrales, Philippa Hill, Anna Freias are the riders doing the chasing. They've now got her back in sight. They have pulled her back on the climbing. And at the moment, they're pulling her back even further on these two climb sections before they hit the descent. So Corrales gets up and out of the saddle. She really is on the front of this pack and absolutely determined that this group are going to bring Perry back into the fold.
I'm just taking a little bit of a check on the time gaps as they came through the top of the checkpoint. And I think the group just accelerated up. They'd closed, they accelerated. The gap from Perry to Corrales at the top of the Vessel Rock checkpoint, the gap had gone down to about 9 seconds. Then it's gone back out again on the descent, as you've seen Perry continue to work. The group waiting for the climb, but the climb now coming and the going to have to accelerate again. The group do need to get this together if they want to close that gap down. Cisioka, the rider that we're in with at the moment, on the way through, she went over the top of the climb in that group, comfortably within that group, but the last rider in the group. So she was in there, but the last rider on the wheels as they went over the top of that Vessel Rock climb. Cisioka holding the group here and staying with them as they go through. And you've got a little descent as you go into the next bit of the climb. That's going to be critical, isn't it? You've got that little sort of get a bit of momentum and then use that to drive yourself up.
Yeah, and that is exactly what's going on here now. Perry holding that gap, and what's really interesting is this group had closed her down on the climb. Perry extending it back out on this descent and flat section. So the group pushing on the climb, recovering on the flat and the descent. Perry holding a much stronger pace on this section and keeping the gap. The question is she going to keep it till the finish line? Because she's still got a significant way to go.
And Veronica Cisioka, on paper, would be one of your top hits for today. A rider who's got 2 wins on the Sunday Race Club, 2 second places, 2 third places, ridden 25. She's got 6 podiums out of 25 races. She's got 2 more top 5s. taking the King of the Mountains, Queen of the Mountains jersey. She's taking 2 sprint jerseys. She's a proven rider when she's out and racing in the category 4 races. And for me, I think it's going to be really now about, can she take away a win here today after the accumulated fatigue of racing the championships before?
At the moment, Georgia Perry is now 20 plus seconds clear. She's must be coming up onto the climb herself. This final climb on the Vessel Rock Plateau, it's short, it's sharp, and it's steep. There's a short, flat section at the top, and then they're into that very steep early descent section. This group are going to have to really work now, maybe on the descent, but they can't sit up on the descent if they want to bring her back. Perry's doing a phenomenal job out there in category 4. Well, category 4 on the right hand side of your screen, category 3 on the left. They're at the 22.7 kilometre marker. They are not too far behind. They're coming to the top of that first climb where we saw the category 4 group trying to bring Perry back in. Anna Embring, Joey Prado, Eva Essler, Kimberly Miller, all there in this group. And you can see on the top right-hand corner of your screen, we've got 2 riders distanced off the back of the group, and 1 rider just trying to close down and come back in. But at the moment, this pack looking strong, sweeping up category 5 and category 4 riders and going straight past and over the top. So this is 7 riders now leading the category 3 race.
So let's give you some updates on the riders as they've gone over the top of the Vessel Rock climb checkpoint, as we see Jermaine Prado working well in this leading group of Miller, Prado, Essler, and I think Rama in here as well. Category 3 on the climb checkpoint, on the Vessel Rock climb checkpoint. Embring taking top spot. She takes maximum points of 5 points, 4 points to Sanchez, 3 to Miller, 2 to Prado, who's on your screen at the moment, and 1 point to Beltran. That's the first of the climb checkpoints, with the second climb checkpoint still to come. That's category 3. In category 4, at the top of the Vessel Rock checkpoint, Georgia Perry had that gap of 9 seconds from Diana Corrales in second, so 5 points to Perry, 4 to Corrales, 3 to Hill, 2 to Frias, and 1 to Restrepo in category 4. In category 5, at the top of the Vessel Rock climb, Shiki Fu, who we'd seen climbing so well, taking those points. She went over the top with what was a 6-second gap. Fu leading, she takes 5 points. Warren taking 4. Geraldo in third, taking 3. Loxley in fourth, taking 2. And Tajeros taking 1 in 5th position. And in category 6, and the final one of these categories we're just going to round up here at the top of the climb, Angelica Limbago taking the climb points, 5 points for the win at the top of the Vessel Rock climbing at the checkpoint. Almeida taking 4 in second, Barco taking 3 in third, Holtman taking 2 in fourth, and Fielder taking 1 in 5th place. 4 of our categories up and over the Vessel Rock checkpoint, and just seen category 2 just come in. So
yeah, they have indeed.
Let's round it up now as well, Emma.
Category 2 have just come in, and 10 riders in the leading group in category 2, being led over that checkpoint by Elsa Haag. Gorea is there, Banerjee, Thompson, Rees, Wagner, Yaramillo, Svardström, Kuma, and Simmons. Those are the 10 riders in the leading group in category 2. They are leading through that checkpoint by around 13 seconds.
So 13 seconds to the good, being led over the top by Alicia Haag, who goes through now wearing that polka dot skin suit you can see on the center of your screen that denotes the leader of the climbing competition in each of our categories. Category 2 climb leader Alicia Haag. We have had a sprint point on the run through to the climb. And in category 2, Anna Svarström taking that sprint, so she'll be wearing the green jersey as she goes through. But with next checkpoint is the Face Rock sprint checkpoint.
Yeah, for the category 2 riders, it is indeed. That comes at the 21.5 kilometre marker, 1,500 metres ahead of where they are at the moment. And as you said, it was Svardström who took the checkpoint, the earlier sprint checkpoint. So I'm assuming she will be the rider on the lookout here and wanting to pick up the points at the Face Rock sprint number 2.
A bit further back down the course, Category 1 on the left-hand side of your screen, sprint leader Lisa Hermansen took the points, the maximum points of 5 from Atkin in second, Lennon in third, Van Schuur in fourth, and Nevin in fifth. At the first sprint checkpoint in Category 1, they're on the way towards the summit of the climb. At the moment, though, the riders just descending down one of the little bumps on that climb in Category 1. Category 2 at 20k, 25k covered for Category 3. And right-hand side of your screen, that is Limbaga, the leader of the Category 6 race. She's got 6 seconds on Jacqueline and me, Almeida. So I think this is going to be a very interesting race in Category 6 with 2 riders cleared. They're about to get caught, actually, by some of the Category 5 riders as well, because Warren, Fu, Geraldo, Loxley, and Tijeros, the leaders in Category 5, are not that far behind. Currently a minute on Limbaga and about 50 seconds on Almeida. But that's going to come down because the Category 5 have the strength in depth. They've got volume of riders to create that draft on the way through. Category 3, bottom left-hand side of your screen. This is your leading group at the moment of Esler, Sanchez, Miller, Embring, along with Prado in there. So that group just making the way along at the 25.3k. Category 1, just seeing Lisa Hermansen coming up on this climb. She's at 17.7k. The climb at summit for the checkpoint, 18.4 kilometers. This is a kick up on to the top. The riders making the way up on to the climb as Hermansen in this group as the sprint leader. Will she be able to take the climb points as well? It'd be a cheeky steal if she does. Holcroft, Hermansen, Nevin, Guerra all massing at the front of this group. You can see the roadway here at the coming off to the side, accelerating up the main road, though. Here's the Category 1 leaders, 17.9k, 500 meters to go to the Vessel Rock checkpoint. This is going to be the first chance to score points. You can see the archway in front. You can see the road over to the left on the bridge, then to the right, the lit up archway there with the Vessel Rock checkpoint above. I'll tell you something, I bet every rider wishes you could get that illuminated sign at the top of a checkpoint when they were out on the road or looking for the finish of a race
interesting
outside.
Move coming from Guerra at the moment, pushing on for the checkpoint. Nice to see her moving here. Maria Holdcroft looking to match the move, but not pushing on as strongly as Guerra. Guerra adamant she wants those points. She wants that polka dot skin suit, and I think the group are going to let her go.
Well, she went at 10.5, 10.6 watts per kilo there on that kick. A phenomenal kick, a sprint explosion as she came up to the top. You can see behind everybody fighting to stay on the wheels. Jay Atkin here, Cornelia Engstrom really battling. I think they've dropped Susnik on the way through up to the climb. They come up through the climb over the top here. That's through the checkpoint. And at the moment, the riders on the back of this group need to get back on. Guerra going through, taking maximum points from Leinen in the second, Kittle in third, Alberg in fourth, and Holcroft in fifth. And you said this was a course that would suit Bridget Kittle.
I did.
Proving that today.
Yeah, well, but also take a look at the Category 2 pack are moving much faster than the Category 1 pack, and they're continuing to do so. Guerra going through, leading the Category 1 pack through at 31 minutes 40 seconds to this point, picking up the polka dot skin suit in Category 1, wearing the polka dot skin suit in Category 2, Elsa Haag. They were going through nearly a minute quicker. Anna Embring wears polka dots in Category 3, Georgia Perry in Category 4, Shiku Fu in Category 5, and Angelica Limbaga in Category 6.
And a lot of those moves to take the polka dot have instigated the race action. Limbaga, Perry going over the top, doing that. Shiki Fu also doing that as well. At the moment, Gabby Guerra, I think, is continuing to push on. You've seen that she's got a chance to go clear here. She's got 17 seconds at this point.
Well, which is interesting because she had 6 seconds at the banner. So 6 seconds at the banner, and now she's extending that lead, and you can see, look at the distance she's put in such a small period of time, and she's just sat down, tapping her rhythm. She's gone into time trial mode, actually. Interesting move, sitting at around 5.96 watts per kilo. This is the downhill run to the flat section, which then will take her through the face rock sprint at the 21.5 kilometre marker. The gap now out to 14 seconds.
14 seconds. And Guerra, the hot favourite, really, of the race field here in Category 1 for the overall win, just showing just why that's the case with that big kick, that big explosion. She's gone clear now. She's going to need to hold that. It does mean that if she can stay clear, she also will, I think, put herself in a strong position in the sprint competition, because although she didn't score any points in sprint number 1, she's got the potential to get maximum points from the next 2. Bridget Kittle tapping away a good rhythm here, second over the Vessel Rock climb checkpoint, and that really is, sorry, third over the checkpoint. A clear statement of intent really from Kittle, I think, that she's going to be there, because that was all about holding the wheels and not getting dropped. She didn't just hold the wheels, she was right up on the heels of Linen, and 0.2 of a second separating Linen and Kittle in second and third place as they went over the top. Meanwhile, we're going to go across to Category 3, just seeing that sprint unfold. Anna Embring at the moment holding the green sprint leaders jersey, as well as the polka dot skin suit as the leader going through in the climb competition as they head towards the final climb. They're at 29.2k now. They've just gone through the 28.9k Alula Desert Sprint checkpoint. Category 3 going through that sprint checkpoint, and that very, very telling indeed, because it does mean they've got some small, sharp hills, and then they're on to our final climb.
Yeah. Small sharp hills and then on to the final climb. That is the end of the race here in Alula. It's a 2.3 kilometre climb. The checkpoint comes 500 metres before the finish line, and of course it wouldn't be Sunday Race Club unless that 500 metres was still climbing.
No, I can only think of 1 or 2 courses where it doesn't go uphill in the last 500 metres.
There are courses where it doesn't go uphill in the last 500 metres, but not today.
No, definitely not today.
Guerra continuing, settling into this time trial mode as she goes through that sprint checkpoint. There it is right ahead of her. She's going to lead the Category 1 pack underneath it, and that gap that she's now established, 25 seconds. She's done that by time trialing from the push on the climb through to that sprint checkpoint, and it's really interesting to see the work being done by Guerra and the gap being established. The pack behind, well, they seem quite content to let it go. Lisa Hermansen wanting to pick up the rest of those points, though, in that checkpoint. She's currently in the green skin suit. She wants to hold on to that all the way through this competition, so she might not win this segment, but she is adamant she wants to pick up the points and win the sprint jersey competition overall today.
And that's really important, isn't it, is that she collects the points, because although she scored 5 points first time round, with Guerra showing no signs of slowing, Guerra takes maximum points, goes through. She's got the chance of taking maximum points on the final checkpoint as well. Now we put her on 10 points. 5 points for Hermansen in the first sprint. Not enough to hold that unless she scores in the second and the third checkpoints, because at the moment she'll be up to 9 points, and Guerra looking like she potentially could take 10.
Hermansen will know that. So she will have that dialed already, and that's exactly what she's doing. She's doing enough to try and continue to hold that competition right the way to the end of the race, but she won't do more than she needs.
Do we think this is it? Game over for the rest of the group in terms of taking the stage win, with Guerra gone down the road? It's going to take a spectacular crumble apart by Guerra, and a concerted chase at the same time, I think, almost now to pull Guerra back.
Yeah, well, I think you may be right there, Matt. But Jacqueline Almeida in Category 6 doing a sterling job today. We were in with her earlier on. We're in with her again now. She's currently lying in second place in the competition. She's in the green skin suit because she holds the most points in that sprint competition in Category 6. Angelica Limbaga, the rider ahead of her, just 20 seconds ahead of her at the moment, wearing the polka dot skin suit. For me, 20 seconds is not insurmountable on this final climb.
It's not, but Limbaga did break clear on that climb. She put in the gap on that first climb, and I think that's telling. But it could take the attrition could take its toll. Almeida doing a very smart move, going for the first sprint. That got her those first sprint points. The big points have gone here in terms of the sprint in through that final sprint. The Alula Desert checkpoint, as they went through there, Limbaga went through. She had a 3-second gap on Almeida at that point. So I think Almeida now very aware that she can now just maybe back the throttles off. She's not going to bring Limbaga back. Maybe she's going to say, well, you know what, you're going to get that climb, but I've got the sprint jersey and I'm going to take second place on the stage. Job done.
Well, Tijeros on our screen at the moment, and she's pushing on strongly in the Category 5 race, and she's the one doing the chasing at the moment. She's 13 seconds down on the leading group of 4 riders, and she's, well, around 23 seconds clear of Nikki Lloyd behind her. So Lloyd will need to push on if she wants to challenge Tijeros for what is currently 5th place, but Tijeros will need to push on if she wants 1 to 4.
She certainly will, as they went through the last sprint of the day, the Alula Desert Sprint checkpoint in Category 5. It was Joanna Warren who took the points, of 5 points from Fu with 4, Loxley with 3, Gerardo with 2, and Tijeros taking the 1 point. Lloyd up there as well, just in 6th place.
Yeah, and they are literally just coming towards the base of the final climb of the day. So 2.3 kilometers of climbing, and then that 500 meters to the checkered flag is what is now in front of these Category 5 riders.
So the final climb checkpoint coming 500 meters before the summit. Very, very key here today. The riders covering 37.4 kilometers in total. 36.9 is the climb checkpoint. Angela Limbaga on the right-hand side of your screen, clear by 20 seconds from Jacqueline Almeida, the sprint winner on the day in Category 6. Category 5, Warren, the sprint leader on your screen, bottom left-hand side. She's got Shiki Fu in the climbers jersey, and Fu, of course, taking that win on the Mount Fuji climb just yesterday on the MyWhoosh Championship, showing that when it goes uphill, she is absolutely the rider to beat in Category 5. Will anybody be able to match it? Tijeros just coming back onto this group. Great chase by Tijeros in Category 5. Category 4 at the moment, those leaders making the way. They are currently at the 34.4 kilometer marker. They contain the sprint leader Corrales, who has gone through that sprint check, the final sprint checkpoint. Georgia Perry leading in the climbs competition. She will need to climb here, and in theory, being climbs leader is a big advantage going in to the big final climb here today.
But the pack were really intent on bringing her back, Matt, and she's now back in the fold.
Yeah.
So the question
Great
is,
work done.
Well, yeah, for me, the question is when you've attacked and you've gone clear and you've had 14, 15, 16 seconds, and then you've been brought back into the group, mentally, can you feel like you can go again and break clear when they've already caught you once before?
I think if you got the polka dot jersey, you know you went on the climb and we're finishing on a climb. So that almost offsets the fact that you've been pulled back on the flat or the downhill. I think it's, at worst, you've got the status quo, but at best you think, well, what the heck, I've got another climb to come. I'm going to go on the climb. It suits me, and take the positive from that.
Yeah, and take the recovery. She's on the back of the group. She's recovering as much as she can. She's sitting in as much draft that is possible. And, well, so is Diana Corrales. And Corrales we saw working really hard to close down that gap earlier on when they were on the Vessel Rock Plateau. She knows how to hurt. She knows how to dig. And that is what's going to be required to beat the polka dot skin suit, because the polka dot skin suit is starting to go on the right-hand side of the road at the moment. You were right, Matt. She is starting to drive on the climb, and obviously that's where she feels comfortable.
And Corrales having a great race. So we saw her earlier on looking very comfy there on the bike, still looking very comfy, but taking the sprint win as well.
Yeah.
So she's taken that sprint, is confirmed.
Yeah, and Category 4, Hill. You see, Philippa Hill also climbs well. And when she is feeling good, she climbs well too. Restrepo, Barragan, Corrales, Cisioka, Perry, all in this group at the moment. And the pack really well matched, I think, on this final climb. They're at the 35.1 kilometre marker. This race finishes at 37.4. They've got 2.2k to go, still 2.2k of climbing. And Corrales, Restrepo, Hill, Perry, Cisioka, Barragan and Frias, it's going to be a battle to the top.
We're in with Veronica Cisioka, winner on the Sunday Race Club. Can she repeat that? Hill in there, and a good call. Hill, 8 wins on the Sunday Race Club, 4 second places, 3 third places. And that's Category 4. We're moving across, though, to our climbers here in Category 5. They're further up the road. They've caught the Category 6 second place rider, Almeida, and dropped her. They have the climb leader in Category 6 in their sights. So the polka dot jersey, the furthest up the road is Limbago, the rider on the center of your screen as you look back back, you can see the polka dot skin suit of the best climber in Category 5, Shiki Fu, but she's got company. Amy Loxley here on the wheels. Can Loxley hold on to Fu on this climb and then take her somewhere and accelerate past? Because we've got to remember, whilst putting in that performance on the first climb to take the jersey, the offside is you've expended energy doing so.
Well, I'll tell you something, Loxley is pushing. Loxley is really driving here to hang on to Fu's wheel. She really has committed to this drive. They've just gone past the polka dot skin suit Angelica Limbaga in Category 6. Limbaga's got around a 15-second gap back to Almeida, and she looks as though she's holding it. They're coming up to the 1,500 metre to go marker, but don't forget it's 1,500 metres uphill.
It is indeed now. Shiki Fu using the draft, going on to the back wheel there of Limbaga to go accelerate up. She picked that moment. Loxley did the same. Couldn't quite get onto the wheels, couldn't hold the wheels. It's starting to break at the very front of the race in Category 5. Category 6 is broken apart already. Category 4, right-hand side of your screen. Well, at the moment, Corrales on the screen here with Restrepo, with Hill, with Barragan in Category 4. And just taking a look, I think that Perry at the moment is at the back of the group. She's not been detached yet. So the polka dot skin suit wearer sitting at the back of the group, the green jersey wearer, Corrales on the front at the start of this time, 35.9k covered. They take themselves all the way up through the checkpoint at 36.9 to the finish line at 37.4. And Corrales, Hill, Barragan, Restrepo at the moment. They are the 4 riders on the front. I think for the moment, Perry, who did all that work early on and broke away, she's at the back of that pack.
Well, it's really interesting, isn't it? Because that top right-hand corner of your screen gives you a really clear shot of the positioning on the climb at the moment. The leaders are at 36 kilometres on the road with 1.4k to go to the finish line. Behind Category 3, the pack's still rolling strong. I think last count there was around 8 riders in the pack. I still think there might be. Rama is there, Sanchez, Prado, Miller, Estler is in the mix. Embring is there, Beltran is there as well. This is a really interesting group as we drop in with German Prado. Anna Embring currently holding the sprint skin suit and climbing skin suit. She is obviously, for me, one to watch today.
And so hard to pick out of that group anybody who is not going to be in with the win. Stefania Sanchez really can climb. You've got Jimmy Preda, proven race winner. Lee Sophie Ramet, winner of Sunday race. Eva Essler in the always up at the front. Kimberly Miller, a rider who today could potentially be taking away that win. Who do you pick? Manfron's been distanced from that group, and I think now far enough back to be out of contention. We're in with German Prado as they come up onto the climb. Anna Embring in that group with the polka dot leader's jersey at the moment, but she's also got the green skin suit, and that's the green skin suit that we can see. Don't be fooled, not just a sprinter, Embring, but also a great climber. So it could well be that it's going to be Embring who's now moves up towards the front, who is able to set the pace. We're in with Prado at the moment, sat in that group. Lorena Beltran just making the group compact once again by coming back in. She's at the back of the group of Category 3 riders who are on the left of your screen, right-hand side of your screen at the moment. It's going to be the checkpoint points, maximum points for Shiki Fu. She makes it 2 out of 2 in terms of the climb competition here today. 2 maximum points of 5 points each. Who is it going to be at the top of here as they get called over the finishing line? It's going to be very interesting to see who takes this away. There's we see the camels running alongside here. We have seen a whole variety of animals on the way through, and I tell you something, that everybody is racing to the top of this climb, because look at this, Corrales and Perry are together as they go up here. Corrales is leading at the moment because she's come through that checkpoint as well. She's in Category 4 on her way up towards Shiki Fu, the Category 5 leader. They've gone past the Category 6 leader. Category Category 4 are on fire today.
No, they are indeed, and really pushing and driving as they're now driving towards the finish line here on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. Diana Corrales is absolutely dialing this. We said she looked strong. We said she was riding. We said she had intention earlier on. She's driving through towards the finish line. There's the UCI banner up ahead. Fu leading the Category 5 race. Now Corrales leading the Category 4.
So here we go. Corrales is trying to chase down Fu in the run for the line. She's dropped all the rest of Category 4. You could see her on our screens. She's the rider in the green skin suit in avatar form, but she's got to watch out because there's a kick coming from Hill behind. Hill is coming up onto her wheels in the red. Can there be a response? Corrales, Hill goes through. It's going to be Hill taking the win here today. Philippa Hill, who had that long breakaway, takes the win. Corrales absolutely gutted. Second place there. Punches the bars. Not to be a day. She gave it absolutely everything. What a ride. Also coming through the line there, Shiki Fu taking the win in Category 5. 2 wins in 2 days for her, winning on the Mount Fuji climb yesterday in the MyWhoosh Championship, winning today on the climb here in the Sunday Race Club as well in Category 5.
Well, in Category 6, Angelica Limbaga has ridden clear. She's in that polka dot skin suit at the moment. She's clear of Jacqueline Almeida. That's been held at around 15, 16 seconds for a long time.
So Limbaga coming up towards the line. She's taken maximum points in the climbs competition. 5 points collected on the way through, 10 points in the bank, and that polka dot skin suit assured. She's going to come into the line and assume the mantle of race winner as well. She's clear of Jacqueline Almeida by 20 seconds now. Great climbing, great racing. Angelica Limbaga on form, climbing well, and again, a great win here today on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club qualifier race number 3. In goes Limbaga ahead of Jacqueline Almeida. Almeida will take the green jersey going forward, though. Great ride by Jacqueline Almeida. We saw her earlier on today at the start of today's racing. We see her here at the finish, revving away up over the top of the summit, and she's going to come through the line in second place and take away the win in the sprint competition as well. Great riding.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. And we've got a little while till the rest of the pack come through. Well, Category 3, because this is Category 3 going over the checkpoint. They're 500 metres out. And just before we drop in with them, I'm just going to give you an update on Category 1, because Gabby Guerra went up onto the Vessel Rock climb. She pushed on at the top and had 6-second gap. She then extended that lead across the top. They've now gone through the Alula Desert Sprint at the 28.9 kilometre marker. Guerra has gone through a minute ahead of the chase group. Lisa Hermansen, as we expected, pushing on at that point to pick up 4 points in that sprint competition because she wants to hold on to that green jersey. Holdcroft et al. All with them. It's a big chase group, but they are a minute back.
Now, Category 3 on the run to the line. This is the battle between Sanchez and Prado at the moment. Sanchez leading on the right of the two avatars, goes in front here of Prado. Prado on your screens in person and in avatar form. Now starts to wind up. Can she answer the kick up from Sanchez? Sanchez has gone, though, at 7.5 watts per kilo. Prado's putting 6.5. Prado's giving it everything, but Stefania Sanchez has climbed to victory here in Category 3. Sanchez takes 1. Prado takes 2. It's going to be Essler in 3. Embring's going to come across the line in 4. And I think Ramett just sneaking the win there in 5th place in Category 3. Let's get those places confirmed. Sanchez taking the win in Category 3 from German Prado in 2nd, Eva Essler in 3rd, Anna Embring in 4th, with Lee Sophie Ramett in 5th place in Category 3. Category 4, Hill from Corrales with Isabel Restrepo taking 3rd place, Freyas taking 4th, and Cisioka taking 5th place. In Category 5, Shiki Fu we saw coming across the line ahead of Amy Loxley, who had held her for a long time on the climb. Behind then, Joanna Warren coming through to take 3rd place, with Geraldo taking 4th and Sabrera taking 5th. And Category 6 at the moment, Angelica Limbago in 1, Jacqueline Almeida in 2.
Well, category 2 of the riders on our screen at the moment. At the bottom of the climb, there were 10 riders in this leading group. Those 10 were Haag, Svardström, Simmons, Jaramillo, Banerjee, Thompson, Rees, Wagner, Kuma, and Gorea. And this is the group climbing at the moment. 3, 6, 7, 8 I've got on my screen at the moment. It's going to be interesting to see who is not in that group, but there may be 1 or 2 riders just on a tail behind. So the push is on here. Rees, Thompson, Jaramillo, Wagner, Gorea, Haag, and Banerjee. Those are the riders at the moment on our screens. They're the riders pushing and pushing strongly. Hayley Simmons is in the group as well. She's just on the back here, but they're climbing strongly. They're at the 35.4 kilometre marker. They've got around, 500 metres, 1,500 metres, should I say, till they get to the polka dot banner. What they've then got is another 500 metres until they get to the finish line today. So with just under 2 kilometres to go, this group climbing strongly in category 2.
I'm not sure who I would pick here. We've seen Alicia Haag putting in a great climb performance to take the climber's jersey here. But you've strong riders like Wagner in here, Rees, Banerjee has got a kick. Simmons cannot be discounted. She's been really racing well. And Hayley Simmons has got a kick. She's got a sprint on her as well. We know that she can wind this up. Svardström is out of this, so is Kuma. And they are 2 very strong sprinters. And the climbers will be glad that they've dropped them, because you wouldn't want to take either 2 of those to the line. So job done to some degree for this group, dropping some of the big sprint power behind. Left-hand side of your screen, well, Gabby Guerra, you heard that update from Emma as to the whereabouts of the riders and what they've been up to in category 1. Gabby Guerra, with that gap, it is ginormous. You know, we don't need a stopwatch for that. That's the sort of thing that you can go off and make an espresso and come back in, even here in the studios, in the commentary studios, because it's 2.5 minutes now nearly between Guerra and that chasing group behind. Samara Shepherd, Kelsey J. Van Shaw, Camilla Arberg in that group, and others. Leinen is in there, Hermansen in there. It's really sort of what's left of the pack, isn't it, behind?
Yeah, it is. And well, talking about what's left of the pack behind, the pack in category 1 are on the right-hand side of your screen. Gabby Guerra is continuing to push and continuing to drive on the front. She's on the left-hand side of your screen at the 35.2 kilometre marker. She's exactly 1 kilometre further up the road than the rest of the category 1 pack. They are not yet on the final climb of the day. Guerra climbing strongly here. It's interesting, 10 riders in that chase group. It pretty much is the rest of the category 1 pack. Guerra pushing on and obviously tapping and settling into her own rhythm now, because, well, she doesn't necessarily need, if she's looking to win the race, to extend her gap any further. But there is a balance, isn't there, Matt, between settling into your own rhythm and holding a pace that is comfortable to you, even if you have already established the gap that could be a winning lead.
Yeah, there's a point at which it's actually harder to go slower.
Yes.
And that for me is going to be the thing, that if that 5.9 watts per kilo is where Guerra is happy climbing at, then she needs to stay climbing at that. When you try to go at a slower pace, actually it can be really, really hard. You spend a lot of energy because you're not in that comfortable pace, that rhythm. And mentally, it's actually quite draining as well, because you're consciously holding back. And I think Gabby Guerra is the right sort of rider who needs to push on. Now, here we see Alicia Haag squeezing on the front to go get those points. The rest of the group has to respond here, because this is a danger moment. If you get dropped here, this is only 500 metres from the finish, this archway, the polka dots arch over the top for the climb competition. Alicia Haag is going to collect the maximum points. She'll confirm herself in that jersey as she goes in through. Gorea pushes over the top here, and Gorea, I think, is going to look to use this as a run for the finish as well. She's still holding over 5 watts per kilo, Gorea. She has used this kick through, so that classic go for the points and keep on going has happened. But for her, the issue will be Alicia Haag is on the wheel and now comes up alongside in the polka dot skin suit. You can see Jaramillo and Rees on your screens on the left-hand side. They're in that group a behind. They need to keep squeezing. Jaramillo just getting a little bit distance. Rees holding the back of the group at the moment. The banner is in sight. There are a long train of riders now being led by Haag. Has she got the locomotive power to hold off the sprint speed of Dana Wagner, who comes over the top at 7 watts per kilo? She put in the power, she stoked up the engine, and now she's reaping the reward because she got the timing to perfection. Dana Wagner is going to take another victory on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. This time it is qualifier number 3 in August. Wagner from Guerrero, Haag, Thompson and Banerjee, with Reese, I think, in 6th and Hayley Simmons in 7.
Well, we drop back in category 1, and Gabby Guerra continuing to climb now. She's at the 36.5 kilometre marker. She's got 400 metres to go until she sees the polka dot banner now, until she goes under the polka dot banner. She's climbed and climbed strongly. It's a big gap back now to the group behind, and it's looking like Maria Holdcroft is leading the charge from Camilla Ahlberg. Those two riders locked together behind. Well, I say locked together. Ahlberg just slightly off the back there. So the group of 10 have split all over the road behind as they've hit the final climb of the day. But Guerra has established her lead on the Vessel Rock climb. She established her lead as she transitioned across the plateau onto the descent and then the run to the final line. She goes underneath the polka dot banner. She's got 500 meters to go until the finish line today, and she continues in that rhythm she's been tapping for a while.
She certainly has, and looking like this now is going to be a case of make sure that she gets the job done here today. Make sure that she spins out those legs, ready for another day's racing tomorrow on the MyWhoosh Championships, where she's lying in 2nd place overall behind our world champion and MyWhoosh current leader McCarthy. Gabby Guerra, phenomenal rider, a rider who has taken 9 third places on the Sunday Race Club so far, 23 second places, 8 first places to date in 49 participations, a phenomenal record of 40 podiums in 49 rides. This is her 50th ride on the Sunday Race Club. It's going to be a 9th win here today. It's qualifier race number 3. It's the first win since mid-June. Taking the win, Gabby Guerra, here on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club, qualifier race number 3 in August. What a ride behind Holcroft. Well, I think she's broken the adhesion that Ahlberg have managed to keep to her wheel. Maria Holcroft going clear in 2nd place at the moment, but you can see the distance that Guerra opened there. She's over the line and will now be beginning that warm down.
Well, Holcroft coming up to that polka dot banner. Ahlberg just a little bit further back, and then the race is on behind. And Jay Atkin doing a sterling job with Bridget Kittle. Kelsey J. Van Shaw is there. Samara Shepherd is there. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 riders in the group. Lisa Hermansen is in the mix. Carolina Lennon is in the mix. And whilst we've got Guerra over the line, and it's looking like Holcroft is coming in for 2nd, Camilla Ahlberg in 3rd. The race is on for the rest of the top 5.
It certainly is. Prices down to 10th place in the Sunday Race Club each and every week. Money behind the words of making cycling esports sustainable and making it competitive, providing elite level racing as well as a level of racing for all abilities on the Sunday Race Club. All riders verified by the premium verification system employed by MyWhoosh. A fantastic way to set yourself into form on MyWhoosh. Lots of riders say it's the fittest they've ever been. Guerra clearly flying, taking the win here today. Maria Holcroft is going to make this 3 second places. She's taken, she's the 8th second place. My eyes starting to go here. 8th second place here today for Maria Holcroft on qualifier number 3. That is going to take her up into the 20s now in terms of podiums in her 57th participations. Camilla Ahlberg coming up to the line. She takes away 3rd place here today on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. 4th, 5th and 6th. Well, Kelsey J. Van Shaw is going to take 4th place. 5th place. It's a sprint between Linen and Shepherd. I think Linen is just going to take it from Shepherd, then Manson, and then Atkin coming in over the line. You can see Atkin over those bars, sucking up the oxygen. Both riders absolutely spent the synchronicity of Kittle and Atkin there on your screens. I mean, the effort involved. Chapeau to all of our riders.
Well, the overall standings today, Gabby Guerra takes the win in Category 1, 1 hour and 41 seconds. Maria Holdcroft comes through in second place, 1 minute 53 back. Camilla Alberg in third. Kelsey Jade Van Shaw comes through for fourth. Carolina Lennonen picks up that 5th spot in that sprint. Samara Shepherd in 6th. Lisa Hermansen in 7th. Jay Atkin in 8th. And Bridget Kittle in 9th. Dana Wagner, well, she took the win in the Category 2 race in that sprint, and that was also great to see. Elsa Haag taking 2nd there, Thompson taking 3rd, Banerjee taking 4th, and Reese taking 5th.
Fantastic racing, and thank you for running up Category 2 there as well. I know it's one of the ones that was very, very close on the line. Well, qualifier race number 3, our women's race for our leaders in each of our race categories done and dusted. If any of our riders are out there racing and riding to the line, I know plenty are. A lot of people using it as their rest day ride, as well as racing competitively into the finish. Keep on riding. That final climb, it's not that long in the big scheme of things, at 2.3k, but it's good. You're going to feel it. Great win today for Gabby Guerra in Category 1. Her strike rate, she's been on the podium in 82% of the 50 races she's ridden. 41 races, a phenomenal statistic because 4/5 of the race she's got onto the podium. Always a pleasure putting words to the action. My name's Matt Payne. You can follow me at Matt Fixer Payne. You can follow Emma Martin here in the studio. And of course, you can catch up with her at biking_Emma. Don't hesitate to get in touch with us. Follow at MyWhoosh on Instagram and Facebook. Download the app. Jump on board MyWhoosh and ride. You can download it on iOS, on Android, and on Windows. We'd love to see you out on the roads of MyWhoosh in the many worlds available to you. A big thank you to you for watching. Please do join us again after the break for the men's qualifier race number 3 on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. A thank you to the teams who have sent their riders out yet again to race, and of course the team behind the scenes at MyWhoosh making the racing and the broadcast happen. But from all of us, we're going to take a quick break. We'll see you again shortly.
Goodbye.
So hello and welcome to the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club qualifier race number 3. It's on men's race. Welcome back if you're with us earlier on for the women's qualifier number 3. My name's Matt Payne. I'm here with Emma Martin in the commentary studios, bringing you all of the race action, putting words to the action and to those fantastic insights into riders' pain case. If you are racing in the men's race, quick reminder, please do make sure that you match your name on the race to the name that's in the entry to the Zoom rooms, because if your name's not on the list, you're not getting in.
Well, we're heading to Alula to the rolling course, and you can see it is indeed rolling in front of you. 47.8 kilometres of racing today for the men, 566 metres of climbing. The course record held by Michael Vink, 64 minutes 27 seconds. Will it be broken today? I'm going to say no. But coming out of the start pen, the first sprint in the 3 sprints checkpoints for that competition coming at the 5.5 kilometre marker. It's a fairly steady start here in Alula, and then the Qualifier Hills. Well, that's the first major section really on this course today. The rolling climbs that make up that hills checkpoint, 7 climbs in total. Then they transition across towards the Vessel Rock climb, another flat transition really. The Vessel Rock climb itself, 6 climbs in one. Extra bonus, that's what I say. The checkpoint at the top, and then the drop down to the Face Rock sprint checkpoint, the second of those sprint checkpoints. So you've got to have your climbing legs today if you want to contend that sprint competition. 2 further climbs off the Vessel Rock plateau before the descent into the 3 small rollers and the transition to the Siamese Rock sprint checkpoint. That comes at the 44.4 kilometre marker, just before we go into the final climb of the day. The Alula Desert climb, 2.7 kilometres in length, an average gradient of 5%. The checkered flag, 500 metres from the polka dot banner, which is where that climbing competition will be complete.
It certainly will, and this is all about that run into the line as you make your way into the finish in terms of the overall prizes. But this is really, really key today. Today that you make sure you get to those checkpoints, get those points in for the climb and the sprint competition. You can see those sprint competitions, one before we hit the hills, one right in the middle of that plateau that we climb up to, and then one right before the final climb. So you're going to be a bit of an all-rounder to be in with the sprint. Today, the climbs, the Qualifier Hills checkpoint, that sawtooth profile of those multiple waves. The first of those, then the Vessel Rock climb, followed by that final climb up the Alula Desert climb towards our finish. All 6 race categories in the men's race field, setting off today from the same point on the road. They have in front of them 47.8 kilometres of distance, 566 metres of ascent. It is going to be a big day today for those who've been racing the MyWhoosh Championships. It's going to be a good opportunity for those that haven't to maybe improve on their performances so far. Our teams represented here in category 6, BMC High 6. They've got Cridland and Skretting. Cridland, I think, second, if I remember rightly, last week. Cycling District 6 are here today with Moreira. We've got BMC 6 with Cronje Olsen and a Truba Spinnergy. Pablo de Manion can never be discounted. Xavier Mea's been riding strongly for the Upcycle squad. Federico Bianchi for the Wheelies squad has been on the live chat, and do get in touch on that live chat on YouTube if you want to ask us or talk about anything in the race. ZTBR with Sugai and Brito of ZTBR Yanamani are your teams. In theory, a big race field. We'll see how many of those riders actually make it onto the start line and head out onto race route. 5 minutes between categories 6 and 5. They get a 5-minute head start on the next category to go. Away go category 6. Remember, the prize is discrete to each race category. Top 10 in each race category at the race finish. taking away prizes for the segments as well as for the overall sprint and climb competition.
Well, yeah, and Decker on the front of the group at the moment. Tom Harvey just picking up the mantle, and the mantle he is picking because he is motoring away from the start pen, 45 kilometres an hour, the pace at the moment here in the group, 200 metres in, and Harvey is ensuring the Category 6 race gets off and out of the start with fireworks. While Harvey backs off the pace now and settles down, he's happy that he's got the pack rolling to over 40 kilometres an hour. Now the first little kicker comes and the pace backs off, but Harvey digging in, Decker, Kutab, Moera, Sergei, Brito, all in the mix. Jonathan Cridland is there as well as Esteban Montoya.
It's a good sized field.
Big, deep breath.
It was, because I was expecting us to have a few less riders, to be fair. It's great to see so many people.
Category 6 never disappoints. It's one of the biggest race fields always in the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club.
It is, and it's always one of the most enthusiastic as well. We always see that coming out. Now, one rider who I'm really glad we've gone in on camera, Michael Adekanye, one of our regulars on the Sunday Race Club, fast becoming a regular on our screens, which is always good to see. I'm loving the huge smile, sir, already on the face of Michael Adekanye as he makes his way out and away here today. He's a regular on our Sunday Race Club, and fighting in that Category 6 race. First joined the Sunday Race Club in July, I think it was, of 2025. So since then, I'm not sure that he's actually missed one on the way through to now. So keep that record going. So just keeping a check of those as you keep on going. Keep ticking up those performances as you go through, and lots of riding on MyWhoosh as well. Now, we're in with Cadabona at the moment in Category 6. Always a great performer when it comes to racing, and last time out, I think it was the third place, was it, for Cadabona behind Cridland, and I think both those riders due to be on our start list today. Just going to dive in with Cadabona here. So Leonard Greg Cadabona, he's been riding really well, hasn't he, of late? And all week we've seen him on our screens in avatar form. How are the legs today, sir? How are they
Not
feeling?
Good. I mean,
they've got to be hurting.
I have to say, all credit to our riders who are just keeping riding this week. But Cadabona, you can see he's just shook his head there in response to your question, Matt. And you know, sometimes when you're 2K out the start pen, you might start questioning your life choices.
Oh, come on! I mean, all power to him. He's had a second place. He's had a win. He took the win in the stage to Zurich on stage 4 of the MyWhoosh Championships. I'm not surprised his legs hurt going up Mount Fuji yesterday. I know a number of people going, oh my goodness, what was that all about? What did we do? But I have to say, I have absolutely loved the fact that there's been something for everything. The varied terrain and parkour, mountain stages, mountain top finishes, mountain stages that finish in town, flat stages, rolling terrain. That's what stage racing is about for me.
We've seen riders with really punchy 2-minute power come to the fore in some of the courses where that is required. We've seen riders, you know, where you need 20-30 minute consistent power and serious climbing legs. So there has been something for everybody in those first stages. And can I just say, Jonathan Cridland, yet another casquette, and possibly one of my favourite ever.
Yes, I actually have the Mapai yearbook from 1997 for the team's performances. The Mapai make basically glue.
They also make great casquettes, or they look great on a casquette.
Yeah, they actually make glue for putting things together with, and particularly tiles and ceramics. But there you go. That's a piece of useless information for you. For the day. Random fact of the day in terms of where those sponsors come from. Let's dive in. We've seen Category 6 go away. Let's move to Category 5. The first step up that ladder. Cycling District 5 doing well. Putting their riders in Morantu, Sicilianos, Castro, and Morencia Racing. Up against first Fitzia. Warren is here. Ola Warren of the Level Racing 5 using that stamina. Mountier is here from Level Up. The MPCC team have got Laszlo and Mortek. And as they leave the pen, Daniel Dotto should be amongst those riders sprinting away for the ZTBR cycling squad. We have Mohammad Saki in with us as well. There's a whole host of riders, and looking forward to seeing how our riders perform today. Ola Warren's been very, very strong. He's been pretty selfless in his efforts out on the course of the MyWhoosh Championship. But plenty of these riders not racing the championship today, and I think it'll be interesting to see how they go.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting to see how they go, and a number of riders here. A big push on the front, and this pack is up to pace really quick as well, and rolling into this small bump on the road at 45 kilometers an hour. The pack rolling really strongly. Lavsno is here, Krosnos, Navarro, Castro, Connell, all in the mix, and the push coming from Christoph Lavno on the front at the moment, and a real drive here to get the momentum rolling in this pack because it is a long, flat section. I mean, I know the Alpha Hill section comes in, and that checkpoint is at 16.5 kilometers, but pretty much to the base of the Vessel Rock climb, it is, I want to say, a flat run, but there are long flat sections, let's put it that way, and sections where you want to be in the draft in the pack, but you want the pack to be rolling quickly as well.
For me, keeping the momentum rolling, one of the things I think momentum is key, and it is a comment that was put onto the chat really by Mel Scriven, who we saw in the women's race and had managed to have a kind of very random conversation with. But momentum, keeping that momentum rolling is critical across riding on multiple stages, but it's also quite critical from a point of view of keeping your legs going. And it's critical here in that group. And I think particularly if you come from doing a multi-day effort, if you come from it can be a bad week at work, it can be a tough day, tough week on your feet. For me, really, really critical to keep that movement going. Whether it's making sure you jump on and off the chair in the commentary studio and have a little run around the studio and stand up at the desk, or whether that is making sure you're moving on the front of the race and keeping that pack rolling. And there will be riders who want it to move fast today to get it over and done with. There'll be riders who want it to move fast to take the win. There'll be riders who want it to start slowly and pick up pace. And that's the thing with bike racing. So much of it is dependent on how these riders go.
Yeah, it is indeed. And the push still on the pack. The pack still driving strongly, still rolling at over 41 kilometers an hour. Well, the push here. Labno's not come off the front of the group.
He's not.
He's not come off the front of the group. He's gone off the front of the group. He's 6 seconds down the road at the moment. And we're in with Silicianis on our screen at the moment. And the big push coming on the front from Lavsno, but nobody closing him down. And he's driving maybe to this point that the Category 6 riders are at the moment. Peter Connell, look at that, 11.8 watts per kilo. He is a huge effort. But I tell you, Efren Mamba's coming up and over the top. Can Mamba get him by the line? No, he can't.
Well, Ephraim Mamba riding very, very strongly again, which is what we would expect to see as they run in. Peter Connell taking that from Ephraim Mamba. Federico Bianchi in third place. Gacek in fourth. Skretting in fifth. But looks to me like pretty much everybody wanted to be in the group as they came through. Category 6 at this stage, 25 riders as they went in through that line, led through there by Peter Connell, who takes the green sprinter's jersey. In Category 5, well, Lasno looking like he is the rider who's going to be taking away those points if he can stay clear of the bunch. He's got 5 seconds at the moment, but that's not necessarily not going to be overturned, and he's going to be feeling fresh. He's not raced the championship, so he'll have some good legs. So let's see if he can put them to good use. We've seen Category 6 and Category 5 leave that start pen. It's time to see the Category 4 group go away. Cycling District 4, now represented by Oliveira and Piera. We've got Level Golden 4, represented by White and Rimborg. And Level Racing 4, represented by Gonzalez. A good field here, some big sprinters in this race field, some riders who've been racing. There are plenty of riders who haven't, including Golden Boy Eric Rimborg himself, although he has been out and about at sports events. So I'm hoping he hasn't had too much of a late night or danced himself into exhaustion in the run into this. We'll find out, see whether he's on to the start line and goes the way he is. I've seen him go through. Good to see that we've got Yusuf Adebalali in here. We've got Daniel Cadiz in here, Francisco Bello also taking to that start line. Looks like Souza is here, Tuomi as well. Olivieri is in, Badu. Great real mix of riders in category 4 making the way out onto the race route. Each of our race categories, as always, with that jersey and the number on their back to identify what race category they're in. And you can just see making the way out from the pens here in Lula, making their way out onto this rolling course here today with what is a relatively flat start until you hit the base of the climb at 25k or so into this race route. Although there is the climb segment of the Alpha Car Hills, there are a series of rollers where momentum is as important as climbing ability.
Yeah, momentum is key, I think, for this race today. And the Category 4 pack, we're in with Brian White at the moment, and you can see the rider from the USA on your screen. He's tightly in this small Category 4 group. And I say small Category 4 group, it is indeed small. And, well, that's because so many of the riders at the moment are riding and racing the MyWhoosh Championships. But I'll tell you something, why not jump on the Sunday Race Club too? White is there, Cadiz is there, Piera is there. They're all in the group, and so is Bernardo de Souza.
Well, White, one of our riders who has been riding all of those stages of the MyWhoosh Championships in Category 4. He's been completing the missions as well. The Pursuit of Yellow missions, lots of those in. Plenty of Sunday race and a rider to watch today, I think. Regularly on the podium. He's had 9 podium places so far. He's had 6 wins on the Sunday Race Club. He's a rider you can't discount, particularly when you've got a field like this where you've got some of the riders are tired, you've got a small race field. He's got to be looking forward to this and thinking, okay, I'm on a roll. I've done my 5 days. What can I do today? Let's maybe, because some riders just go better and better and better and better.
Yeah, they do indeed. And do you know what? Once you've got the engine rolling, keep it going sometimes.
Interesting. Some riders don't say that. From Lucas, who competes in the, who's been competing normally in the Sunday Race Club, but has been competing in the championships. His comments on the live stream. You can comment on the chat on YouTube if you follow the show on there live. That he's put on there. As much as I like esports, I thoroughly enjoyed my easy outdoor ride today. Recharged the batteries to full gas again for 2 more days, and then fist bumped.
Yes.
So, and I've quite literally in the studio. That's the fist bump back. There you go.
Well, the Category 4 pack rolling here, and you can see on the top right-hand corner of your screen, all still together, one big group of red jerseys up onto this bridge. One of the small bumps along the way here in Alula. Some beautiful terrain. And actually, do you know what? Brian White is pushing on the front here. They're at the 2.2 kilometre marker. And I'm wondering whether he wants a faster ride than the rest of them. He wants to get this pack rolling.
Well, maybe he wants to do a Christoph Laszlo. We were speculating as to whether or not Laszlo had gone off the front to go get points. Well, I can confirm that at the first checkpoint in Category 5, Laszlo did indeed do that. So maybe White is looking to replicate that. Laszlo went through with what was a 10-second gap on Navarro, with Krawanos behind her, then Ola Warren and Daniel Thiem, the point scorers, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 points for Laszlo, Navarro, Krawanos, as well as Warren and Thiem, respectively. But that bunch making the way through. Is it together, that bunch, so Emma, or is it broken?
Well, for me, that bunch is one big, long line. I think that's the best way to describe the Category 5 pack as they went through that section.
Brilliant. Okay, we'll keep an eye on them, as well as all the rest of the 6 categories here today. 6 categories of racing. We're on with Category 3, who are waiting patiently in the pens. Anzacs are represented today by Patrick Bloomer, Joshua Power, hoping to bring the power here today for BMC. Cycling District 3, Brignall Andrade and Johnson de Tara Esports, Andre Bombacini in for them. Franklin Gomes de Almeida riding for the District Ciclismo squad. And Sandstorm should be represented by Niall Batty, who put in a phenomenal ride yesterday to take victory on the top of Mount Fuji. Hisham Etar Batty going through for the Atlas riders from Morocco. Good to see Morocco represented on the list of nations from all around the globe here in Category 3.
Well, I reckon there's about 23, 24 riders who have just come out the start pen there. Pierre Fell is here, David Badil is here, Carsten Mayer, Kara Schledeck, all in the mix. The push is coming in on the front, but no real massive drive from one rider. This is just a good pace out of the pen from them all. One of the riders on our screen at the moment, one of the young riders, Arthur Corbani, just giving us a wave onto the screen. Part and parcel of the pack here, the rider from Brazil. You know, one of the things I'm really loving, Brazil really getting behind the Sunday Race Cup. Lots of riders across the men's and the women's race, riding and racing and representing Brazil.
And it's not just the Sunday Race Club. There is the Brazilian series on MyWhoosh as well, which is out there. You've got some fantastic racing by them, and I think when you see, it's a bit of a sort of a snowball effect, isn't it? I think it's really, really interesting to see the more riders that jump on board. It then picks up more riders who then get more riders, and it just starts, it sets off that avalanche that suddenly becomes engulfing, and it suddenly brings riders in huge volumes and inspires riders. And if it could inspire well,
if you try something and you like it, you stay.
Yeah, you know, it inspires the generation and brings them in to come and ride. Luis Andrade, part of the inspirational squads from Portugal, one of our really key nations. And the work done by Cycling District can't be underestimated, can it?
No, not at all. They've got race teams across all of the categories here on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. And riders then able, Ian, if you move up, you can stay on the same team. You know, that is it's brilliant, because you know what? You don't want to have to start looking for a new team when you've just moved up. So Cycling District, one of those squads who have teams across all of the categories. And if you move up a category or you move down a category, you can still stay racing within the same squad.
Great way to do it. And it also it does make it a little bit easier for us in the commentary box, I have to say, when you have teams across all disciplines, because we do try and keep a track of all of the riders. It's a monumental task trying to keep up with absolutely everybody. Not quite sure what we'll do in terms of keeping up with everybody if we ever reach the 2,000 riders, the target of Matt Smithson of the Sunday Race Club. But hey, that's the sort of bridge I'd quite like to have to try and find a way to cross. On our bridge at the moment, Nicholas Fournier. Nicholas has been...
look at the push.
When we talk about riders who've been riding day after day, Nicholas Fournier riding very strongly. He's putting some great rides, particularly on the early stages of the MyWhoosh Championship. So, and he's looking smooth today. Plenty of bottles for hydration. There's a lot of people talking about how long they were on Mount Fuji yesterday. Some riders out and racing. One of our Category 6 riders commenting on the live chat, 3.5 hours for them yesterday on the bike. But they did then say that if they did enough training to do 5 big back-to-back days, they might not be Cat 6 and might actually have moved to Category 5 rather than just jumping on pretty much. And that's not paraphrasing what they put there.
Love it.
That they're watching rather than riding. If you are watching and you've been racing the MyWhoosh Championships, thank you very much for racing. We are looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Big time trial stage coming up for our riders tomorrow before our finale on the championships. You can watch all of the action on the MyWhoosh YouTube channel that brings you the Sunday Race Club. It brings you the MyWhoosh Championships. It also brings you the World Championships as well. One man who has been watching is Pierre Fell. Bonjour, Pierre. Putting comments on that live chat, keeping an eye on what's going on. Today he's out and racing today, so he's going to let his legs do the talking rather than the fingers on the keyboard on the live chat. So great to see Pierre in action. It's going to be okay. So can he put the pace down. He's a rider, I think, today to watch.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Patrick Karlstrom showing us he's a rider to watch as well today, absolutely dialing this at the 3.4 kilometre marker. Let's just remember the first sprint checkpoint is at 5.5. This is not a push for the first sprint checkpoint. This is actually a push to go away from the group. While Karlstrom pushing and pushing strongly. Bloom is there as well. And look at the stretch this has caused on the group. And this has really woken everybody up. Bombacini is there, Mayer is there, Bloom and Fell all wanting to get back to Patrick Karlstrom. They know Karlstrom is a man on a mission and he's not one to let go down the road. So the drive really early in this Category 3 pack is gone, well, you're on the start line of the Sunday Race Club. So am I. We're going to race, and we're going to race hard from the start. You want to be here? Let's go.
And Patrick Karlstrom from Finland, one of the real strong riders on MyWhoosh, really moving at the moment. We'll see. He's clear. He's on his own at the moment. He's got a way to go. He's at 4.1 kilometres. He's got to get to 5.5. Category 4 have been through there. We were speculating whether Brian White would be able to take it all the way in there, and was he going to be our rider over the line first? Unfortunately, he wasn't. For him, Francisco Bello, though, profiting from that. He took the 5 points. Giuliano Hack taking 4. Ibrahim taking 3. Cadiz taking 2. And Gonzalez taking 1. They were the riders who were at the front of the race in Category 4. I think 16 riders in total on that start line. And I think, actually, they're all pretty much together.
Yeah, well, Bello off the front somewhat, around 9 seconds clear.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, around 9 seconds clear of Hack. Hack then around 9 seconds clear of the rest of the group. And so one rider, followed by one rider, both with around a 10-second gap, and then 14 riders in a group.
And that was, we saw last month go through solo as well. So clearly setting this precedence being set here, and it's being followed by Karlstrom here in Category 3. So we see him continue to push at the moment towards that checkpoint. Remember, each checkpoint, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 points. They're really, really critical.
They are indeed, and those points all added together in both the points competitions, in both the sprint competition and the climbing competition, to give the finale every day at the end of the Sunday Race Club in each of those. So the rider with the most points in the sprint competition takes the sprint prize for the day. The rider with the most number of points in the climbing competition takes the prize for the day. But of course, it's not points overall. Overall, it's all about time and who crosses the line first.
Most definitely all about who crosses the line first at that finishing line, and who comes in second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10th place. Still rewarded by prize money in each of our 6 categories. The prize money equal in the men's races as it is to the women's. And of course, we got to remember when we get to our finals at the very end of the month, we are going to be in the team competition with the prizes as well. So that's extra added level of competition, that added facet to what is the duel that is Sunday Race Club. Well, that is at the end of each and every month. Team competition coming into play at that point.
Yes.
Nice monosyllabic answer.
Well, it was probably the right answer.
Well, thank you. I'll take that as a win. Okay, Category 3 through the checkpoints. The first of our checkpoints. Karlstrom indeed holding on to take that by 2.5 seconds from Nicolas Fournier. Then Pierre Fell. So second and third for the 2 French riders there. Ryan Dummer harnessing the power of the Welsh Dragon to go through in 4th place with 2 points. And Patrick Bloom of the Anzacs taking 1 point. So Finland, France, Wales and Germany represented in the top 5 riders going through in and over the line in Category 3. And 20 riders together at that point. If you include the breakaway rider Karlstrom, who I think by now will have been pulled back into the fold. Okay, in with Sadki at the moment on the climbers. We go very quickly across to Category 2, because Category 2 on that start line. Cycling District, well, you can see those teams in action across those categories, because we have Michel Machado, a man who we are looking to go from the gun today, as always, with Daniel Pinto. from the cycling district squad. Tatu Koistonen and Ross Fawcett due to be on the start line for the Hitmen. The UAE Falcons represented by Zaid Hamdan and Ahmed El Tanaji in here as well. We've got SS, Mr. X 100 and Pablo Popovic down to represent the UAE clan team. But most of those riders have been racing the championships. Let's see who's on our start line here today. Who decides that they're going once more unto the fray, my friends. The riders up and away. The charge has begun. Who is going to ride their steel horse to victory today on the field of battle, and who will be languishing at the back of the pack, or even worse, distanced off the back with some very sore legs?
Well, the Category 2 pack rolling and rolling strongly at the moment. Interesting to see the number of riders coming out of the pen. And Alcase is there, Santo is there, Wozniak, Milostic, Alvarado, Kisnowski. Josh is in the mix. Kyle Ward is here. Daniel Hoyas is here. The pack on the front, you know, they're rolling at around 40 kilometres an hour up and over this first bump, and they're going to drop down the other side. And now Cam Winfield just stretches his legs a little.
Cam Winfield, one of our regular riders on the Sunday Race Club. Martin Wozniak in here. Wozniak putting in some fine performances there. You can see in the paint cave there with that green background as well. Just got the towel draped over the handlebars just to make sure the bike stays in one piece.
Well, he took the win on the Sunday Race Club last week. Kalman was in second and Skierski was in third, and it was a sprint finish there, just 0.222 separating the top three riders.
And Wozniak also racing the MyWhoosh Championships. Best position 12th on stage 2. Sorry, 11th on stage 2. He also got top 15 on stage 3 as well. So it'll be interesting to see, can he repeat the win when he goes in to the Sunday Race Club after 5 tough days of racing on the championship? And don't forget, all of the championship available to watch on the YouTube channel. Now let's dive in with Mark Santo, another of our very fast riders, right up at the front here of this group, really pushing on, trying to break the group apart at the moment, Mark Santo. And for me, pushing early, you could put a few people off. You could really just start to make things difficult for people.
Yeah, you can do indeed make things difficult for people. And while some of them will really like it and respond, others, well, maybe the feeling in the brain or the feeling in the legs. But Santo, Wozniak, Winfield and Ward, the riders pushing on here. Look at this. It's like a 4-up time trial off the front.
And why not? If you're feeling good, if you've got the legs, if you've got the right warm-up done as well, push on, squeeze on. As we see Niederhauser at the moment just starting to wind this up, looking to pull this group back. He doesn't want to see 4 riders leave the station without him on board. Pito behind and now starts to push. So does Becker. Becker coming up to that 9 watts per kilo. And I think if they can't kick clear on this climb, they're going to bring the rest of the bunch back in. They've got a gap now. So at the moment, Becker and Niederhauser leaving the group behind. Cahill and the rest of the bunch at 1 second. You can see Jamie Cahill now trying to squeeze across this gap. He wants to come, and this is what I think we're going to see for the first few bumps. We're going to see a push. We're going to see a break. We're going to see riders desperate to get on to the group. Cahill now needs to finish this off and get into that draft. The numbers go green. He's going to be aided by the fact that Niederhauser is just in front, but behind him, the whole of the bunch is coming as well. And what they've got to be careful is that if they don't ease off too soon, if they go too soon and they back off too soon, that bunch will snowball over the top. The damage is being done. At least one rider, though, being dropped.
Well, Samuel Josh still pushing really strongly on the front of the pack. He's really holding a strong time trial pace at around 5.5 watts per kilo. He is consistent in his management of this breakaway here. Cahill in the group. He's in the mix. He's right on the wheel, and on the wheel is where you want to be.
The gap has broken here. I said the bunch is going to come right back.
8 riders potentially in this leading group, but the gap is not big at the moment.
No, but it came and then it broke again, and that for me is almost a sign that they tried and then decided nah, and then they eased off again. Maybe try and get them back later. We will have to see. Can't wait to go back in with that Category 2 race. But all of our races are full of action. in all of our race categories. Category 1, the final set of riders to leave the pens here today. Abus Esports, represented by Leonard Tugels. He was going really strongly on that Zurich stage. Had a good day at the office. In the MyWhoosh Championships, Alpha Jaw, Kaminsky, Chirrut, Vajasin and Jones. Jones leading the first 3 days of the championships. Vink and Knudsen here today. No Osborne for the Boss Moose, only squad on our start list. Noren, who's been climbing great in the championships of the Farm Watch squads, is here. We've got Wu, the man who's been holding the top 2, Vink and Osborne at bay. Pedersen is in here for the Wenger boys as well. According to our start list, 26 riders, I think, Emma?
18 leaving the start pen.
So looks like there are at least 8 of those riders on the entry list decided to not take to the start line. Good to see we've got Remy Confession joining us here today, and great to have him with us. Welcome to the Sunday Race Club, because I'm pretty sure I've not seen his name down on the start list to date.
New to the Sunday Race Club, and fabulous to have him here, the rider from France, joining the Sunday Race Club, and really good to see him with us.
Now off the front already, Christoph Kroll on the attack.
Can I tell you where? So Remy Confession is a 23-year-old cyclist from France, right?
Yep.
Guess what team he rides for?
FDJ?
No.
Go on.
The Apogee Charente Maritime.
So basically, it's like 5k down the road from the studios, probably.
Yes.
Excellent. Remy, welcome. Bonjour.
Well, Mikhail Kaminsky on our screens at the moment as well. And great to see Kaminsky in the mix. And I'll tell you something, Kroll is here, Kaminsky is here, Wu is here, Dont is here. I'm hoping Mikhail Kaminsky's not feeling too bad after the 5 stages he's already raced this week. And he's not obviously feeling bad, because he's dialing it on the front.
Yeah, Mikhail, how are you feeling? If you're listening, give us a thumbs up if you're feeling good. Give us a sort of shaky hand if you're feeling bad. And if you're feeling really bad, don't tell us. Don't tell the competition, because guess what? They can see you as well. The MyWhoosh jersey on there with the bands on. Mikhail Kaminsky, a rider who we know is always going to be competitive. I love his face. For me, always says, "I want to race." He's got the kind of face that says, "I want to race." That's what it says. Don't know what mine says. Probably says, "I want more coffee or ice cream," but his definitely says, "I want to race." Now, the racing already here, kicking off here, and riders having to respond. These little bumps and rises, the trigger points that are causing these little bits of movement up and down in category 1 here today. Kroll on the front here, putting in some distance, racing the championships as well. We're in with Ollie Jones now. We've got to say, amazing riding by Jones. Took the win on stage 1, took the yellow jersey, took the win on stage 2. Extended his lead, took the win on stage 3, extended his lead. Phenomenal riding by Jones. Stage 4, though, the mountain stage, he couldn't quite stay with the leading 3. He was about 30 seconds down. He was in 4th place. He finished the stage yesterday as well, and lost a little bit of time. What can he do to bring that back? Ollie Jones, phenomenal rider, and I've got to say, those first stages, he just looked superb.
Well, he did indeed, but can I just say, I have just noticed on the having taken to the start is Martin Martins. Welcome back to the Sunday Race Club, sir. Great to have you back on board. And the retirement didn't seem to last long.
Is this a case of more comebacks than status quo, I wonder?
Well, Paul Skierski on our screens at the moment. He's
Look
battling.
At the trophies.
Well, I tell you, different shot in his pain cave today. And I did say to you there were great trophies on social media in his pain cave, but we had never seen them, because normally we get the shot over to the medals that are behind him on the wall. While Skierski battling Hayden Pucker at the moment in the MyWhoosh Championships for the Young Riders jersey in Category 1. And that battle has moved them up well and truly into the top 10. It's been fabulous racing between those 2 under-23 riders, and also how they are integrating into the overall in that Category 1 race. Well, Christoph Flubus on our screens at the moment. He's with Confession for Vink. Michael Vink is here too.
Michael Vink, winner of the MyWhoosh Championships in 2023. Leader of the championships in 2025. he's definitely got to be watched today. Now, in with Christoph Lubus. Good to see he's not only smiling, he's also watching the figures, clearly seeing us there. Another rider, I've been really impressed by him in his racing recently. And I think a rider who we're going to see a lot more of. I don't think it'll be too long before we see him challenging in that top two, top three on a regular basis.
Yeah, I don't disagree. And really interesting to see this pack. The pack are rolling strongly at the 3.6 kilometre marker. They're up and over 45 kilometres an hour. The next bump in the road is coming along, and there are a number of bumps in the road in the early stages on this course. Mikhail Kaminski, Michael Vink, Jasper Paradians is here. Yunfei Wu is in the mix. Line of Yasin is here. Panitsa is here. Dont is here. And this pack rolling wide across the road at the moment and pushing on strongly.
Now, Michael Vink in the mix, you know, and I just listed where he's at in the in terms of MyWhoosh championships. He's riding. He's sprinted to a sprint lead very early on in the sprints competitions in the intermediate points on the sprint. We've then seen him working with Osborne, the leader of the climbs competition, to break up the racing. He's had Wu with him for company. Vink then had been distanced by Osborne on the Mount Fuji climb. He'd been Osborne had just dropped him and gone, and he really was looking like the stage winner in Fuji. But you can never discount Michael Vink. He came back over the top to take the win. Really great riding.
Yeah, really great riding, and the riders pushing at the 4.5 kilometre marker. They are heading towards the first sprint checkpoint of the day. Dont on the front.
First sprint checkpoint. Some news from the race, because we haven't covered category 2 going over
I've just had a little look
over
at
the
that.
race. Peter Trzynski taking 1 point in fifth. It's going to be Martin Chris taking 2 points in fourth. Pinto taking third, 3 points. Cam Winfield, super sprinter Cam, taking second place, taking 4 points. And Dylan Kenner getting his finger out, getting on with it. 5 points, taking the sprint win. Great ride.
And can I tell you, in that category 2 race, whilst we watched the category 1 unfold, 2 riders, then a gap, 1 rider, then a gap, 7 riders, then a gap, 9 riders, then a gap. Category 2 is all over the road at the moment at that point. It's going to be interesting to see whether they reform before the Alpha Hills. Category 1 at the moment is doing the same thing. We've got 3 riders pushing on down the road. Kroll, Pedersen and Dont. 3 seconds clear at the moment as they run into the first checkpoint.
The checkpoint coming up 5.5k, just over 200 meters to go. They see the banner in front of them. The 3 leaders are absolutely dialing it, because Pedersen's at 12.5 watts per kilo. Dont is coming onto his wheel, but Pedersen holding those watts. Now Dont goes again and looking to go past. A matter of timing there. Now it's showing Dont as actually hitting that first, but he's done a quick recalculation of the data just to make sure that it was correct. And they're doing that double check that it does. And Pedersen going through in the top spot, then Dont, and then behind, Pedersen, Dont, and then you just saw Kroll coming through in third. Now, of the rest, Palskirski stretching his legs early on here. Interesting move by the youngster, clearly looking to get a bit of a kick. And then we've got Gustav Berlin coming through, the Swedish rider. He's taken a point as well. Remember that we have 3 sprint checkpoints today. So you can see the riders coming in and through the checkpoint there. Dont's time there coming up at the moment as our 5-point scorer, but there may well be a recalculation of that as we go back down into the action. The racing unfolding in front of us live as it happens here on the MyWhoosh YouTube channel. So Pedersen, Dont, Kroll, Skierski and Berlin, top 5 on the sprint number 1. Next sprint though, Emma, and now they're all through this. Next sprint right on the top of the plateau. Okay, let's take a look at this group. They're rolling nicely. The first of our riders away were category 6. They're the furthest out on to a race route. They, as yet, not made the top of the Vessel Rock climb, but they have gone through the Alpha Hills checkpoint, as have all the categories up to category 3. Category 5, the furthest down the road, they are, category 6 furthest down the road. Peter Cridland, the sprint leader, with Jonathan Cridland, Peter Connell. the green jersey sprint leader, Jonathan Cridland on our screens with that Mappe casquette. The rider with the polka dot skin suit, he took the sprint through the Alpha Car Hills checkpoint. He took those points there, scratching on board as well. These three riders, 12-second gap. They're going to hit the climb at 28.8k. They need to just work together, don't they? The group behind are not at a distance that they're safe. They really just need to keep working together. Connell, Cridland, and Skretting.
They do need to keep working together, but to take a look at who they are, Connell, Cridland and Skretting. They are three riders who can well and truly stay clear of the group and potentially extend their lead on the climb. This is going to be really interesting at the 25.2 kilometre marker. The 26.2, do you know, I need to sort my contact lenses out. That's bad. But they are indeed the three riders clear. Back in Category 3, we're in with David Baddiel, the rider that has been riding strongly in the MyWhoosh Championships. He's part and parcel of this group here in Category 3. Dutton, Karlstrom, Johnson, Stevenson, Baddiel, Kochkov, Fell, all in this group. Big group riding well. A number of riders off the back of the group, you can see that, but this is the leading group at the 18.3 kilometre marker in the Category 3 race.
And youngster David Baddiel working well at the moment. Great to see him in action. We're going to have to see what
big push at the moment.
what he does. There is a big push here, and I think he's one to watch in the racing here today. He's shown he's got some speed. He's going across this gap here. They've seen the push go. He's seen he's got to get across. He's got company. David Kowalski on the move here as well. Nicholas Fourier on the wrong side of the break, and I suspect we're going to see a big squeeze. I can't imagine they're going to let this group go. Fournier won't, Heaney won't, Dummer won't. You're not going to see that happening. Baddiel making his way across that leading group, dangerous with Fell, with Bloom in it, and very much the case. Be aware, be wiser to the moves. Get across the gap and make sure you get into a place. But Dill pulling across that gap now, he eases off the pedals a little bit here to make sure that he doesn't overshoot too much and go out the front of the group.
And I'm really loving watching our young riders on MyWhoosh, and it is great to see the under-23 riders really starting to come on board in numbers. Well, Ryan Duma on the screen at the moment. The gap shut down. Gates, Bloom, Heaney, Fell. Duma on our screen. There you go. The Welsh Dragon is roaring at the moment, right at the front of this Category 3 pack. And as they head onto the bridge over the water in the caverns here in Alula, the push in this Category 3 pack continues to go again. This is strong racing in Category 3 and really aggressive racing today.
I think there's a lot of people going, I'm loving the fact it's a change up of riders. We're loving the different things in here. Ryan Duma, definitely a rider today to watch. He's got to be one of those riders you expect to see when we get to the top. Trent Stevenson also, another rider I expect we're going to see in the mix at the finish. I think today is going to be a harder day, not an easier day, because of the riders who are here have got the opportunity. They've got a different mix. You've got different riders. I think today is actually going to be a really hard day for our riders if they want to be at the front of the race, because you've got everybody wanting to race. And because the fields are small, there is less race. Sorry, less rest. There's less rest. Let me put that as accurately as I can. By that I mean,
unless
the
you're
group's
a
smaller.
master wheel follower.
Well, even then, there's just less wheels to follow. There's less riders to take the turn on the front. It's almost impossible to. In a massive pack, you can hide. You can just not see the front all day and then just get to the front when you need to. When there's a smaller group, you just going to end up in the wind, and that's going to make life difficult. Still a big group, though, in Category 6 at the front of the race. 26.8k covered. They are just going on to the foothills here and into the main part of the climb up to the top of the Vessel Rock Ascent. The first of our second of our climb checkpoints. The first climb checkpoint at the Alpha Car Hills. The second checkpoint, the Vessel Rock climb. Third checkpoint is going to be the Alula Desert climb. Category 6, the first set of riders out and away. pack all together. Move on the front here, Christoph Flubus looking to break this group and just using that little rise there to break clear here and try and extend a little bit of a gap on the rest. Donta's done the same. Berlin is responding. Kaminsky and Koimani just taking it just a little bit steadier. Christoph Flubus, really interesting. A rider who been riding a lot on the road on the Grand Fondo. He decided after quite a number of crashes that he decided he was going to come out of the Grand Fondos and concentrate more on gravel and on the indoor riding.
Do you know there's a lot of riders who have that double, the gravel outdoors, the esports indoors, and it's really, really popular actually right the way through our men's and our women's race fields, and that is really good to see. And well, do you know what? I spy an advertising opportunity.
Do you?
A PR opportunity for cycling esports in the world of gravel.
Do you? Is that where you think that if you were in charge of somebody's advertising budget, you'd be heading?
That's where I'd be heading. It's already a relationship there made by the riders.
Yeah, made by riders like Christoph Flubus, who's on our screen now, and it does. You know, there are plenty of riders leaving the road going, do you know what? I'm not going to race on the road. It's just so risky. They don't like seeing the crashes. You know, risk versus reward. I'm not getting enough reward to take that risk. So looking for something different. And gravel riding, in some ways, is just what we've done for years. You know, what's happened for decades and centuries, you know, since the invention of the bike. People haven't just confined themselves to one thing. Because of the bike, the gravel bike allows you to do so many different things, see so many different places. If you're going out to buy one bike, you can put your gravel bike on the turbo, ride it indoors. You can ride it as on MyWhoosh. You can take your gravel bike, you can go ride it on a track outdoors, or you can go ride it down a mountain bike track. I've seen that happen before.
Or as I do, I don't ride a gravel bike. I've just put different tyres on my cyclocross bike.
You could, well, you can, yes, indeed. And that is really interesting. Now,
here we go. Call's gone out from Flubus to Dont. Give us a hand. Let's work together. The two of us can do this. We may only be 2 seconds clear at the moment, but now, come on, let's work.
Well, there's plenty of work being done by Eduardo Sugai at the moment. You can see there, rocking and rolling, really putting the power down now. He's seeing the moves go. He's got to answer this. Now's the time to dig deep. Now's the time to push. We're at 28.3k, and the explosion is because we've got less than 500 meters to go to our checkpoint. You've got to squeeze now. You've got to push now. You've really got to move. This is going to be about squeezing your way into the group, not doing too much. The banner is in front of the riders. They come across the walkway, Skretting. Oh, my goodness. I'm not sure what he had for breakfast. I want some of it because Skretting has gone. Cridland is there. Petter's coming, so still, so's Connell, but Skretting sprinting his way around the corner. Jonathan Cridland, he's looking focused here. The polka dot skin suit wearing the man who took the climb competition at the Alpha Car Hills is going to hit this in second place. Interesting move there by Skretting, sprinting clear as they hit the Alpha Car Hills.
Vessel Rock checkpoint.
In category 2, it was Cridland who took the win. Skretting goes through on the Vessel Rock.
Yeah, 5 points to Skretting, 4 points to Cridland. Cridland stays in that polka dot skin suit, but Skretting's picked up slightly more points as he's gone through that segment. Well, these two riders now 14 seconds clear of the rest of the pack. Alan Steele is behind Lucas Petter, Peter Connell, Stephen Yates, Jan Decker. Now, the question for me, Stretting and Cridland, will they go clear now to the finish line? Well, what I can tell you is we've got some riders on the hotline into the studio at the moment, and our little conversation about gravel and esports, well, it's building momentum. There's a call from, let me put it this way, Hayley Simmons out there. Should MyWhoosh want to sponsor a gravel team? There's a number of riders who'd be happy to join it, and MyWhoosh, they could be wearing MyWhoosh jerseys out on gravel UCI events.
They could. I mean, it's a massive, massive market, massive thing. And one of the great things is that there is a real mix of male and female riders. There's a real mix of ages from 16 to 60 plus. There's generally people who can travel, so there's they've got some
Well,
income as well, which is always handy
you
if
and I,
if you're wanting to
you and
attract
I were very
people to come in.
privileged to put the words to the action of the UCI Gravel World Championships last year. And obviously, we put the words to the action on the elite race, but the age category
Oh,
races
yeah.
were massive. Absolutely, in terms of the numbers of riders taking to the start in those World Championship age category races. The fields in the elite men's and the elite women's were also huge.
Yes, they were. They're just absolutely massive race fields. And because you've got the qualification process as it is, there's a lot of people looking at them going, well, do you know what? This is a great way to get to a world championship,
Well,
because
and
you can qualify. It's a really clear process. And that is another of those
Yeah.
similarities, I think, for me, between gravel and cycling esports. Now, we're in with category 3 here at the way on the way up the climb, 24.8k, so well into this climb at the moment. PFL in a leading group at the front of the race. We saw them move clear, and we were expecting a move to pull them back. That has not happened. PFL is in here with Mark Gates, with Nicholas Fourier. Now, on the move, they've got a gap of 20 seconds to the riders behind. I predicted they'd be pulled back, that riders like Heaney and Dummer would work with Badil to pull this group back. Well, it's not happened yet, and it's not happening yet on the climb. You can see the lead group in the center of the radar view, top right-hand side of your screen. You can then see that bigger group of riders coming behind, trying, I think, just to keep them in check at the moment, as Johnson, along with Fournier, in here in this pack, just sitting at the back of this group of 4. Fell working hard on the front. We're in with Nicholas Fournier. He's got to be looking forward to this. He took the points on the very first sprint checkpoint. That's the Alpha Hills, and then he's now in a leading group of 4 on the climb, heading up towards the top of the Vessel Rock checkpoint. Great way to defend that lead that you've got in the standings as you go on to checkpoint number 2.
Well, Nicholas Fournier taking the time to wave. But
Yeah.
Fell, Johnson, Fournier, they are part and parcel of this group of 4 riders who are now 22 seconds clear of the chase group behind. Fabulous racing. Dylan Kennett driving again towards the line at the 19.1 kilometre mark. I'm not quite sure what line he's driving towards, but he's driving off the front at the moment. The rider in the green skin suit indicating he took the points in the earlier sprint competition checkpoint. Really wanting to make the action here today in category 2 by the looks of it.
Yes, Dylan Kennett knows what he's doing. He's a very very experienced rider with a track background, I think, if I remember correctly, Emma. Kennett?
Yes. Commonwealth Games, think representing his country.
Repeatable efforts.
World titles.
Yeah.
And then time off the bike and coming back to racing and using cycling esports to come back to racing. That's what he's wanted to do.
Well, we're going to go back, dive in with category 1, because we are coming up to the Alpha Hills checkpoint, and as they go up here the hills, it's Dont who's gone clear at the front. So Dont leading this out. He's going to take away the points here as they go up over the top. Dont goes with Jasin sitting in this group. Lionel Jasin has been riding really well on the championships, and right where we would expect to see him in that completing all 5 stages. His best results, he got 6th place on stages 2 and 3 so far. Dont going flying over the top there. He is 2nd on the sprint competition. He's currently leading the climbs competition. Ruben Dont clearly up for the racing here today. We've seen him being aggressive all the way through. They've just come down off the last of the Alpha Hills, dropping down onto the flatlands beyond. And this is often where we see a push, and that's where Kaminsky's chosen to go.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Mikhail Kaminsky comes straight to the front of the pack and drives at around 6.3 watts per kilo. Christoph Kroll, another Polish rider, going with him as well. Vujasin is there, Wu is there, Panitsa is there. Flubus now picks up the pace on the pack behind. The pack rolling strongly here in category 1, but unlike some of the other categories, the attacks have not broken the group so much. But now Kaminsky really driving at the 17.5 kilometre marker.
Which I think just trying to go clear, trying to break free from that main pack, making that racing hard in Category 1. We're just taking a little bit of a look in with Hisham at Rabi, just making his way around the race route. Here's part of our Category 3 race. And he's got to keep just be very aware of what's going to be happening around him, because he's got the Category 2 group likely to come up onto his wheels very, very shortly. And that could give him some assistance here, and that will help him on his way in and through. Raced last week in Category 3, so only his second participation, so very much at the start of his journey in MyWhoosh. Great to have him here on board, and I think it's one of those things, and you've got to learn how the platform rides. You've got to learn how the platform races. You've got to be able to work out where you want to be able to put your efforts in. You can see just here, Hisham out the saddle here, just pushing down on those pedals, kicking some good power coming out there as well, going over those 300-watt markers, goes over the top and then down into the descent. And at the moment, 40 minutes of racing under the wheels for him. 30 minutes for Category 2, set off some 10 minutes behind. Mohammed El Case, the rider that we are just in with at the moment.
Do you know what? I've been watching the racing this week, and I will tell you that I have not been on the bike because I have been sat here in the studio for many, many hours, which I have loved. And I have absolutely loved watching the racing unfold. But one of the things it has made me really think about is what racing I'm going to be doing over the winter. I have been inspired to really think strategically about my own racing this year. If this is inspiring you, and the MyWhoosh Championships, the Sunday Race Club inspires you to think about your own racing and your own progression in cycle sport, then please do jump on board. We would love to see you, not just for the Sunday Race Club or the MyWhoosh Championships, many other types of racing available on MyWhoosh, from individual time trials to team time trials to elimination races to masters racing. There is all sorts of racing out there for you. Pick what works for you. The Premier Elite events, yes, the verification is really strict. Yes, you have to have a specific type of turbo trainer. You have to have a second power source. You have to go through all the verification processes to ensure fair racing. Every single rider does that who takes place on the Sunday Race Club. And when the MyWhoosh Championships isn't happening, that's around 500 to 600 riders a week that go through that verification process. Other races on MyWhoosh, you need a heart rate strap, you need your turbo, you don't need a second source, and those verification processes aren't there. You just need the minimum amount of equipment that is required to race. Jump on board. Get on board. It's great fun. And whether you are new to racing or a more mature racer, there is something there for you.
I would agree with that and echo those sentiments entirely. Don't forget the team at MyWhoosh, really, really responsive. The MyWhoosh Indoor Cycling Facebook page, a great repository of knowledge and a great way to get in touch with the team. If you want your questions answering, I am always amazed by just how responsive they are. Their customer services team on MyWhoosh are doing an amazing job of answering questions and queries day and night, whatever hour of the day it is. From the same question that's been asked 20 times to something really off the wall. Now in with Adrian Alvarado at the moment. Adrian in his pain cave here, nice Velos jersey on as well, and good to see that still working hard at the moment. Adrian Alvarado riding the championships, 4th place on stage number 1 in that championships. He had a great start to the MyWhoosh Championships. He's ridden all the stages so far, so today his rest day involves racing.
And why not? Well, Category 1 on the right-hand side of your screen at the 20.7 kilometre marker. Category 2 a little way further down the road at 23.7.
And I have to say, Adrian Alvarado, the rider we just featured, we do have to remember he was a Cat 1 rider in this time this time last year. He's a Category 1 rider in the early part of this year as well, sort of March, April, May. So he's a strong rider. So I'm not surprised to kind of see him carried on and do that extra day on the way through. Category 2, leaders left-hand side of your screen. Category 1, yet again, another kick. The riders at 21.2k. Another move off the front here. Another big kick off the front. Niall Pedersen very quickly onto the wheel. So is Christoph Kroll. Leonard Tugels it is this time, though, who's animated the attack. So Tugels being followed by Pedersen, being followed by Kroll. At the moment, Don is at a second. The flurry, these flurries of attacks, one after the other, at some point, somebody's going to get something to stick and they're going to break clear, surely. They're not going to close every move down, or are they?
Well, it's a good question. And the challenge for me today is all I can hear with some of the phrases that you're saying are songs playing in my head. Got a little Queen number going on at the moment.
What's that?
I want to break free.
Okay, stop there, because that was almost in tune.
Well, yeah, singing not my strong point. But Tugels, Kroll, they're off down the road, and Pedersen and Dont now in giving chase. Kaminski, well, Kaminski has decided he's going too, and really, really pushing on. Mikhail Kaminski, 9 watts per kilo, trying to close down the gap here to Ruben Dont, Niall Pedersen. Leonard Tugels is there as well. This could well be a 5-rider break group that we see. Dont just backing off. Kaminski coming on. He wants Kaminski to get onto the group, Ruben Dont does. I think he wants him to help with the work. So 5 riders strong, this group now, as they continue to drive. This is one big push from the group, but the group have got to work together to go clear. They're 4 seconds clear of the group, and I tell you, Ricardo Panizza has decided behind that he wants a little bit of the action, but I don't think he's going to make it. Well, you never know. Panizza might be bringing the entire group back. Oh, dangerous. Yes, he is.
Well, I've got to say, if I remember to put the mic in the right place, I got to say, it's about time they got into gear and got moving and got rolling. They're at half race distance. They have, not quite half race distance, but they're nearly there. Time to get a bit of a wriggle. It is a flat start to the day here today with those Alpha Hills and one other climb that are of any kind of significance at all. The little trigger points that have been in between have helped to shake it a little bit, but I think there's going to be a number of riders now wanting this to wind up. And that's one of the things, whether you are fresh or whether you are coming off 5 days, there comes a point where you just need it to get going. And I think that's where we're starting to see Category 1. I am expecting to see people push clear on that Vessel Rock climb when we get to that. It's not that far away for Category 1. They're about to hit the base of that climb. Category 6, though, well, they're really moving at the moment. Cridland at the moment up the road by 10 seconds as he comes down this descent. So the course profile, if you remember it, we had the plateau after the Vessel Rock climb checkpoint, and those 2 climbs that go to a higher point, in fact, than the Vessel Rock climb. Tell you what, let's take a look at that once again and just refresh our memories and yours of that part of the course. So we're in Alula. And you can see the Vessel Rock climb, the second of those climb checkpoints denoted by the red triangle with set behind another. That is the climb checkpoint indicator. The second of those, the Vessel Rock climbs. But then you drop down. You go through the Face Rock sprint checkpoint indicated by the green bar, but then you've 2 further climbs. You climb up, little drop and back down again. And then you climb to the high point on the plateau before the big long descent. So if you think you're at the top of the Vessel Rock climb, oh no, you're not. You're not even there. It's the 3rd highest part of that plateau, and you've got the 2 highest still to go. You then drop down, you run across with 4 ascents, 3 sharp-edged ones, 1 slightly more rollered top to the finish before you go through the Siamese Rock sprint checkpoint and then onto the final climb of the day. So plenty of climbing across the top, and this is going to be a decisive part of the course. If you break away going over Vessel Rock, you've got to make a decision. Do you wait for that plateaued section through the sprint? Do you push on to take the sprint checkpoint? And if you do, are you then going to be in danger of being caught? You can see PFL now moving on to the second part of the climb here. So he's done the Vessel Rock, he's dropped down, he's gone across the flight, gone through the checkpoint, he's got those checkpoint points added to his total, and now he's on to that climb up towards the second part,
and
part
this
two.
This is really interesting because at the Face Rock sprint checkpoint at the 31.9 kilometre marker, it was 4 riders clear with a 28-second gap back to a chase group in the Category 3 race. Fell was part and parcel of that leading 4. Now you can see these 2 climbs that come to take the riders off of that Vessel Rock plateau being utilised by Fell to go clear of the leading group of 4. He's got one more climb to go before he has the descent, then the run towards the final climb of the day, and Fell choosing strategically to make this his attack point. Well, the Category 3 race attack point at the 23.8 kilometre marker, the chase group of Gates, Johnson and Fournier not closing Fell down. That's on the left-hand side of your screen at the 34 kilometre marker. At the 27.4k marker, the Category 2 pack are not at the top of the Vessel Rock climb segment yet, and it is a huge pack of riders all together. So the initial gaps that were in play in the Category 2 race brought back together. Well, the riders brought back together, and in the pack here in Category 2, Cahill is here, Allenjung is here, Josh, Becker, Kennett, Santo all in the mix as the riders. Well, you can see the gradient just about to go up again on the top right-hand corner of your screen. This is the little descent before the final kicker. This is the final kicker on the Vessel Rock climb, and we talked about it earlier on being six separate climbs with transition sections in between, and this is the final one. This is the 6th climb on this Vessel Rock climb checkpoint, and the push now coming on the front because this is the drive for the polka dot banner at the top. But the riders so well matched in the group. Kennett pushing on, Winfield pushing on, Ward, Cahill, Matheson pushing on, Alvarado is in there as well, right towards the front of the pack as they come round the right-hand corner. They've still got some way to go before they get to that checkpoint, around 500 metres. But, well, 2 more bends. They won't see the banner yet. Well, they can see it just in the distance. It still looks like it's some way off. And Mark Santo up and out onto those pedals in that pain cave on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. But he's got Niederhauser, he's got Becker, he's got Ward, he's got Betts, he's got Trzynski, he's got Kennett and Winfield who are driving on the front. Adrian Alvarado is in the polka dot skin suit, and now the polka dot skin suit comes to the front of the group. Kyle Ward, though, matching him pedal for pedal.
Wow, this is a real push for the Lion Adrian Alvarado in that polka dot skin suit. He wants to take this. He wants those points. He's going to extend his lead if he can hold this. Winfield's coming at him, but it's not going to be enough. Alvarado punches the air in delight there. He knows that he has now got 10 points in the bag at the top of the standings in the climb competition in Category 2 as they go up and over the top there. Now, interesting to note, Alvarado, Winfield, Trzynski, Allenjung and Ward, the point scorers. But at this point, Category 2 have reached the top of the Vessel climb in 42 minutes of riding. Fournier, Fell, Gates and Johnson, who are part of that Category 3 breakaway that we had seen, reached it in 41 minutes 59. Only 3 seconds between them, but very much showing that that breakaway was a big effort by Fournier, by Fell, by Gates and Johnson, because they have been riding at the same pace as the category above them, Category 2.
Well, 18 riders in that leading group in Category 2 as they went through the point. This is Category 1, and at the 27.5 kilometre marker on the climb, and at the moment is Leonard Tugels that has gone clear. So Tugels clear of 18 seconds of the pack behind. This is a massive push from Leonard Tugels and doing a sterling job here today, coming towards the top of the Vessel Rock climb. Not far behind, should I say, say, the Category 2 pack.
Yeah, he's on his way. The Category 2 rider's just not on the move quite as quick now. Chugles with that gap opening up, really pushing on here. Chugles looking to take away a win on the Sunday Race Club, I think, because this is the sort of move that could well stick. And if he can keep this going, that's going to be really, really decisive. It's 200 now, 300 meters separating him from the riders behind. Chugles has got 4 third places. He's taken 4 second places. He's ridden 22 Sunday race clubs. But what's missing from that Palmares? A win on the Sunday Race Club. Is today the day that Leonard Chugles takes away that win? Behind him, Michael Knudsen is on the charge now. Knudsen, who has been resurgent as we've come into this part of the season, now starts to make a move. He's been working really hard throughout the championships for that Boss Moves only squad. But at the moment, he's on the chase behind the leader, Chugles. He's going to try and break clear of that bunch. Knudsen, 21 wins to his name on the Sunday Race Club. So with Knudsen now in pursuit, the bunch behind start to pick up the pace. This is not going to help Leonard Chugles. Chugles in front here, 28.7k on the clock. We've got to get to 28.8 for the climb alone. And this move by Chugles is going to be enough, I think, to take those points. He comes up to the banner. The polka dot banner is in front. He's going to take away maximum points here as he goes over the top here. So Chugles is going to have a total of 6 points. Knudsen comes through immediately behind. He will score 4. That's going to put him on 7 points as he goes in through here. He's currently got the lead in the competition, and I think that means that he's going to go clear the Vessel Rock checkpoint. Chugles in 1, scoring 5 points. Knudsen in 2, scoring 4. Skierski in 3, scoring 3. Paradians in 4, scoring 2, and Yunfei Wu in 5th, scoring 1 point. So those are the point scores, and it doesn't mean Knudsen currently in the lead of that climb competition. Chugles, though, pushing on over the top of the climb.
Martin's being gapped there by around 20 seconds.
And Martins is an experienced rider on the platform, isn't he? I mean, we know he's strong. He's taken a win before in Category 1.
Yeah, but he's had some time off. Time away.
He hasn't ridden on Sunday Race Club since January, in fact, of this year.
And it is August.
It is August. Is it August already? Wow.
Yes, it is indeed August.
The years go flying by.
I think you'll find they were months.
Yeah,
between January and August.
It does feel a bit like years at times. We are in the middle of a very busy period. This is peak elite racing at the moment in cycling esports, because this is the period that has the qualifiers for the UCI World Championships in cycling esports. It's got the Sunday Race Club. It's got the MyWhoosh Championships. We run from here right through to those World Championship finals in November. They're live in Abu Dhabi. Emma and I will be putting words to the race action in that final and the semi-finals and the 2 public qualifiers that are to come.
Which
I'm really looking forward to that.
And you can still enter those. So entries have not closed to those 2 public open qualifiers yet. They come up in August, so they are very, very shortly coming up. The next open public qualifier on Friday, the 22nd of August, 11 a.m. start for the women, Central European time. You can get in there. The men start 2 hours later. Then the final open qualifier on Wednesday, the 27th of August, at 7 p.m. Central European time is the start time for the women's race. The men start 2 hours later. So 2 opportunities still to qualify for that semi-finals available. And yes, anyone can enter. Head over to mywhoosh.com/events. Click on the open qualifier page for the World Championships, and the technical guide, the rule set, etc., are all there for you to look at to see what specs what verification process there is, and how you go about entering.
Well, hopefully we'll see Francisco Bello in those qualifications, a rider who's ridden 2 Sunday race clubs so far. Qualifier 1 and 2 in August. He's now riding qualifier number 3. He improved from 36th to 25th last time. I've got a sneaky feeling he's going to improve this time round as he makes his way around here. Just got Gates moving alongside here. You got the category 3 leaders moving the way through this race field. Gates, Fournier on their way through. You can see at the moment Gates leading up this climb. Johnson is in there as well. So Johnston in the mix with Gates, Fell and Fournier. They are the 4 riders from category 3 leading their way through. They just go alongside and past the rider Bello there in category 4. Meanwhile,
category 2 and category 1. Well, category 2, I'm just looking, I'm on the Face Rock Sprint checkpoint. Category 2 have just gone through. And I tell you something, category 1 have just gone through as well.
Wow.
Leonard Tugel's going through the Face Rock Sprint checkpoint ahead, 4 seconds ahead of Pedersen, who is 1 second ahead of Skierski. Then a 10-second gap to Paradians, Vink, Vujasin, Panitsa, Flubus, Kroll, Kaminsky and Jones.
And you can see it on your screen, Leonard Tugel's. This is the rider at the front of the race. Paul Skierski has bridged across to within 5 seconds of his wheel. Surely Tugel's, Pedersen and Skierski need to come together as a trio of riders to stay clear of that bunch behind. But Tugel's is not showing any signs of slowing down, and I think he doesn't want to give away any lead. It's Hobson's choice at the moment. Wait, let the riders come up to you, lose time, but then potentially gain it back or keep pushing. And if they're strong enough, they're going to make it onto your wheel. That's in category 1, the last group of riders to leave the pens today here on qualifier number 3 on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club in August. Right-hand side of your screen, the first riders to leave the pens, and the first rider on the road is Alan Steele at the moment. Steele leading the group here at 45.5k. They are on the final climb, the Alula Desert climb. They are. This is for the run to the finish. It's a summit finish here today. As they make their way up that climb, they are ahead still of the category 5 leaders. Category 5 coming behind. Theme with Lasno. They've got a 3-second gap to Connell and to Sadki. Mortek is in there. Castro in that chasing group behind. 2 leaders just starting to keep the distance there as they make their way up. Lasno and Theme leading in category 5. Right-hand side of your screen. Left-hand side of your screen. Lucas Perek, Jonathan Cridland on the front here. Steele with Scretting in there, the sprint leader. So we have our sprint leader, we have our climbs leader, and we have the front of category 6. Now on that final climb, they are 100 meters clear of the leaders in category 5 who are coming and coming quick.
They are indeed, and really interesting to see this race really progressing, and Christoph Labno, Daniel Theme really starting to motor, and then motoring their way now into the top 10 on the road. On the right-hand side of your screen, it is at 45.6k. The head of the category 5 race, the head of the category 6 race is at the 45.9 kilometer mark. It's around 150 meters separating these two races at the moment on your screen. Let's just remind ourselves we're heading to the 47.8 kilometer marker. So the category 6 race have just under 2k now to go.
Well, 2k left. This is going to be a very telling 2,000 meters on the way to the line. Yeah, well, my maths is working okay at the moment, clearly, because I can still remember that there's 1,000 meters in a kilometer on the way through, and haven't even finished the coffee from our break between the women's and the men's race. Such has been the action here on the men's qualifier number 3. Don't forget, this is a 5 Sunday bonus month on the Sunday Race Club. 4 qualifiers, 1 final. Top 10 riders individually taking prizes in both qualifiers and finals. The sprint competition segment and the climbing competition segments are being rewarded the fastest riders with prizes in all of our categories. The riders who take the overall in the sprint and in the climb competition also rewarded. And when we get to those finals, you have the addition of the team competition at the end of the month. We've got those public qualifiers for the UCI Worlds before then, and we've still got the MyWhoosh Championship to finish. 2 days to go, 2 amazing stages. We've done the mountain climbing competition. That is done and dusted. We will be moving on to the time trial and then into the final sprint stage. But we are now into the finale here of the Sunday Race Club qualifier race number 3. Jonathan Cridland now kicking out in that polka dot skin suit. But look at the speed of Lucas Petter. Comes alongside, and now there's got to be a response from Cridland to that. They closed him down. Petter shot over the top. They have distanced the rider off the back of the group, if not 2. I think it's going to be Screttin and Yates who've been distanced here. This is telling. Cridland with Petter on the front of category 6, 46.6k, 46.3k. Saki, Castro, Connell and Co. Bigger group there in there, but they are again losing riders.
Well, 6 riders in the leading group at the moment in category 6. In fact, I think, has Scretting just got back on with Yates as well? Yes, he has.
Wow.
So make that 7 riders now in the leading group in category 6. Well, they're coming up to the 1,000 metre marker. They're coming up to 1,000 metres to go to the finish line today. 7 riders leading the category 6 race on the left-hand side of your screen. Just behind them, around 150 metres behind them, we're in with the front of the category 5 race, and this is a big sized group as well. Back into the category 6 race, they're going to be the riders who see that finish line first today, and they're pushing on here in Lula. This is the 47.8 kilometre, 566 metre of elevation Sunday Race Club ride for August. It is qualifier race number 3, and Petter, Steele, Cridland, Milano, Amaya, Scretting and Yates, the 7 riders in this leading group. But it's Lucas Petter now who's pushing on the front. The response is coming from Jonathan Cridland and David Milano. Cridland absolutely adamant he's not going to let any wheel go today. But what can you say? All you can say is that the finish line is coming, and it's coming thick and fast. They're around 500 metres out, 500 metres to go here on the Sunday Race Club. It's Cridland, Petter, Steele, Amaya, Milano and Scretting. Yates is on the back of the group in 7th place at the moment, but the push is coming on the front from Jonathan Cridland. He's wearing the polka dot skin suit on your screen. He's up and out the saddle on the left-hand side of your screen in real life. He's driving towards the finish line. He's got to come up around the bend towards the rock. Steele is launching from behind. Alan Steele digging at 8 watts per kilo. He's just unlaunched the sprint. We're going to see him coming fast and furious on the screen. Can Cridland do anything? Can Cridland respond? He's lifting the pace. He's lifting the power, but it might be too late. Alan Steele has gone over the top at 9 watts per kilo. Steele is absolutely nailing this towards the finish. Cridland can't match it. He's up again out of the saddle, but Alan Steele, what a sprint, what a finish. Alan Steele, category 6, wins the Sunday Race Club today. Jonathan Cridland comes through in 2nd place. Lucas Petter comes through in 3rd. And I think Screttin will get 4th. This, however, is the Category 5 race, and they're on the run to the line as well with 200 metres to go. It's Lasno and Castro, Mortek and Connell. Theme is in the mix as well. These are 5 riders here pushing on, and Christoph Lavno going, well, he's just had Patrick Mortek go over the top at 10 watts per kilo. Tim Connell. Lewis Castro's launched at 11 behind, but I'm not quite sure he's got enough road to catch Patrick Mortek. Mortek, I think, is going to take the win here in Category 5. The rest are going to run out of road. Patrick Mortek takes the win in Category 5 today. Tim Connell comes through for 2nd, and Lewis Castro, I think, will be 3rd.
So Patrick Mortek putting the effort in there and taking away what is going to be his 9th podium and his 3rd win on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. Alan Steele, well, it's not his 3rd win, it's his 1st win on his 3rd time of riding in the Sunday Race Club. Out sprinting Jonathan Cridland at the end there, just having that little bit more firepower at the right moment as they came up to the line. So let's just give you a quick refresh of those results. Alan Steele taking the win in category 6-1. Jonathan Cridland in second place. Peter Lucas taking third place. Joachim Skretting taking fourth. David Milano taking away fifth place. In category 5, Patrick Mortek taking the win from Tim Connell. Going through in second place according to our screens at the moment. Castro, then Saki, then Last Note Theme behind, but we are going to get that checked and updated, of course, as they come through. But Mortek with the power there. His race time 1 hour 17 minutes 37 seconds.
Well, category 3 and category 4 on your screen at the 47-kilometre marker. James Harvey is running through to the final 800 metres to the finish. At last checkpoint, he had 15 seconds back to a group of 8. It's now currently 6 seconds back to one rider who has gone clear from that group, Marcus Piera. He's gone clear. It is 13 seconds back from Harvey to the chase group behind, being led by Dominic Bergin. And then on the left-hand side of the screen at 46.6, not that far behind. The leading group of 4 in the category 3 race, well, they are nearly a minute clear now. It's Johnston, Fell, Fournier and Gates, and it's going to be a 4-up battle to the finish over the final 1,000 metres today. Well, James Harvey continues to drive towards the line. He's got around 300 metres to go. Marcus Piera chasing hard behind, but the gap now 6 seconds, and Harvey and Piera matching each other's power very, very well. I don't think we're going to see a break here or a change in the 1-2.
Certainly not in the 1-2 behind Eric Rimbaud. Golden Boy is in the polka dot skin suit. The coach, the life coach on MyWhoosh, the talisman, the dance king himself in the front of that chasing group in that battle for third place. But Harvey at the moment looking absolutely unstoppable. He sprints his way up towards the line. Here comes the gantry. Here comes the banner. James Harvey making this look simple.
Well, he is indeed, and he's broken away from the category 4 race field. James Harvey in the green skin suit is also going to take the overall today on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club in category 4. Marcus Piera is going to come through for second place, and Eric Rinborg, massive push. Can he take third? That's going to be phenomenal if the answer to that is yes. But we drop back in with Fell and Gates, both part of that Sandstorm team. Pierre Fell is the rider pushing on the front at the moment. He's gone clear of Johnston, Gates and Fournier. So Pierre Fell on our screen, putting in a phenomenal dig and drive towards the line today. He's been the strongest rider of these 4, as we've seen in the earlier climbs here on the course today in Alula. But Pierre Fell, the Frenchman, is driving towards the line now. He's going to take the win here in category 3. The race is on behind for second place, and Nicolas Fournier on the bottom of our screen is up and out the saddle with a big sprint at the moment, because it's Fournier versus Gates versus Johnson. Fell over the line. Pleased with that performance. Fournier comes through in second. Mark Gates, I think, will take third from Lucas Johnson in fourth. It's a 30-second gap back to the rest.
So fantastic racing. James Harvey taking his first win on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club from Pierre, from Rimborg, from Olivier and Badu. They're the top 5 riders in category 4. The top 5 riders in category 3. Well, we can give you the top 4 so far. Pierre Fell also taking his first win. And I think the difference there, realistically, is Fell has not been racing. Fournier has, because they were so strong. Fell, Fournier, Gates, Johnson, your top 4.
Well, I'll tell you what is going on in the category 2 race. That's the Danish rider, Nicholas Becker, is pushing on and trying an attack here from the group. And the group is not responding behind. He's got 8 seconds at the moment at the 43.6 kilometre marker. They've still got some way to go. They're not onto that final climb yet. But Becker really giving himself some sliding room from the group on the run in. The group behind, you can see, well, they're 100 metres behind him, and look at the steady state. It looks to me like they are preparing and settling for the climb, whereas Becker is driving into it. the 42.5 kilometre marker, or the 42.4 kilometre marker. It'll be 5 very, very shortly. And the Category 1 pack are rolling together at the moment. And Tugel's back in the mix. By the look of it, he is indeed. So all the riders back together. I think that should be 14 of them. But we will take a look and see. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 13. 13 riders in that
Good
leading
guess.
group.
I have to say,
It wasn't a guess.
No, I did think it would be somehow. Got to
Christoph Kroll is the rider who's no longer in the group.
Yes, he had been attacking as well, and he'd been putting in the moves on the front, and then not to be the case as they came in. So really interesting to see how they make their way up here when you've got riders who are starting to lose ground, starting to be distance. Category 1, I think it's all just going to come down to that climb. Everybody's now going to wait. They're just going to see what they can do on that final ascent. Maybe leave it later until they get up to the top. There's some very quiet riding in there from a number of riders who we know can take victory, not putting themselves out in front, I think, till it really matters.
Well, do you know what's really interesting? We've got 13 riders in the leading group in Category 1. Becker is out front in Category 2, 12 riders chasing. Well, I say 12 riders chasing because Cam Winfield has now gone off the front of the group and is now starting to do a Becker.
He's doing a Becker on his way up. Winfield out, but not doing a Becker well enough. I don't think you need more of a kick. You've just got to push and go and never look back. I think the problem is Winfield. I think it's just too big an ask. Interestingly, though, I think a rider who maybe could go across here, Adrian Alvarado, the climb leader in the climbs competition, is going after Becker. I think this is going to be a straight pursuit between Alvarado and Becker potentially, because Alvarado has got the power and the speed to go clear of that bunch on a climb, and then potentially bridge all the way to Becker and just go straight past.
Yeah, maybe, possibly.
Well, it's nothing like sitting on the fence. You don't careful you don't get splinters in your toes.
Okay. Becker and Alvarado, the two riders pushing on here in Category 2, in with Adrian Alvarado on your screens at the moment. He's up and out of the saddle in the pain cave, driving on the early stages of this climb. This climb, well, it's 2.7 kilometres long. It's got an average gradient of 5%, and at the moment we're on one of the steeper slopes. It's around 7% at the moment, but rapidly dropping as it tails off. Becker, the rider, 5 seconds clear. Alvarado is doing a strong ride here, closing down Nicholas Becker and, well, going clear of Matheson behind.
That climbing prowess Alvarado has showed, that great power to weight ratio he has, the way that he's used that, you've seen him hiding in the bunch, sitting out of the way, making sure that he uses that at the right time. He's come onto the climb, he's kicked down hard, he's brought back Becker, he's coming onto the wheel as we speak, and now this is going to be a really, really key. It's about kicking onwards here. You need to push, and you can just see Adrian Alvarado now out of the saddle in person on the left-hand side of your screen, punching around those pedals. He's gone clear. He caught Becker back. That was a 12-second gap coming in. Brave move by Becker, and got to applaud the aggression and the improvisation by Becker to go early into this climb, but Alvarado waited. He's now gone, but he has set himself the mission now of climbing all the way to the end of this race at 47.8k.
He's got 1,700 metres to go and 1,700 metres of climbing, and Alvarado, now the Hertz digs in and the Hertz settles down. It is full gas all the way now to the finish if he wants to stay clear of the chasing group behind. The chasing group behind, for me, I think will just keep Alvarado in their sights. Enough potentially for a sprint finish. There's a number of riders in there, Peter Milostic being one of them, who would love a sprint finish today, Tord Allenjung as well. And these riders pushing on. They're going now past Nicholas Becker, the rider who, set the tempo at the bottom of the climb. And they're really starting to move. Strangely, Betts, I don't think it's strange really, Betts is the rider pushing with Matheson and Milostic. Ward is in there as well. Alvarado holding 9 seconds, though, at the moment.
And Alvarado has ridden 12 MyWhoosh Sunday race clubs. He's never had a podium finish. He's taken two
Today could
King
be the
of the
day.
Mountains. Well, it may well be. We'll have to see if he can hold them off behind. They're still at 10 seconds and they are still in sight on your screen. You can see our leader in category 2 in that polka dot skin suit because he has taken maximum points on each of the climbs so far. Can he continue this run forwards? He's ahead of Ward, Milostic, Becker, Zang, Trzynski, Betts. It's a real class group there. Meanwhile, category 1, they've hit the slopes, and guess who's gone clear? Well, of the riders on our race start today, Michael Vink and Yunfei Wu were the two biggest names in there. They're the only two riders from the podium positions in the MyWhoosh Championships to be on that start line with no world champion Jason Osborne. Yunfei Wu and Michael Vink are here. And I'll tell you something, Yunfei Wu, he wants to go for this because he's just putting a big dig there, and Vink is having to respond. They've pulled clear of the group behind. Knudsen at the front of the group behind. They're at 10 seconds with Leonard Chugles in that mix. So is Vujasic, so is Kaminski. So Chugles' repeated moves, will they cost him now that that energy is going to be called on once again?
Well, this is really interesting for me because Vink is leading the MyWhoosh Championships at the moment by 48 seconds from Osborne and 1 minute 16 seconds for Wu. This is first and third in the MyWhoosh Championships during the rest day, battling it out for first and second.
But we haven't seen Michael Vink contesting everything and every competition.
No, he's been really smart.
Wu and Vink have just sat there, and then gone. They've put themselves up above. They put their head above the parapet to be shot at by going for it. This man, he's done exactly the same, but he's got to keep pushing.
Well, he has got to keep pushing because the sprint is now on behind an Alan Jung, Trzynski, Becker and Betts, Santo and Matheson. And it's Alan Jung who comes straight over the top. And Alan Jung pushes on. Alvarado now goes into third. He goes into fourth. He goes into fifth. Alan Jung, Trzynski, Becker, Santo. They are opening up the sprint and launching here. Santo's coming and coming strong. Can Trzynski hold on? Can Alan Jung make it? Which one of these two is going to go over the top? Santo is coming hard from behind. Alan Jung goes over the top. Alan Jung takes it from Trzynski. Santo comes into third. Wozniak, I think, takes fourth. That was a great race, and just feeling, don't you, for Alvarado, who went out and out clear. He ends up in 10th place today in that category 2 race. Alan Jung takes the win. Trzynski comes in second. Santo did indeed take third. Wozniak took fourth, and Becker, one of our early protagonists, finished in 5th place today. Betts, Matheson, Milostic, Zang, and Alvarado round out the top 10.
Alvarado, as you say there, Emma, you've got to feel for him. You saw him put everything into that, and it was just a few hundred meters too far. And this is the front of the race, though, in category 1. Michael Vink in person, bottom left-hand side of your screen, out of the saddle on his trademark wind-up here.
Yeah, he is indeed on a trademark wind-up, and he is with Wu. Yunfei Wu on his wheel at the moment, and Wu goes first at 11 watts per kilo. Michael Vink holding steady at around 9, now kicking at 10. What's Wu got? Can Wu respond? Lyndon Milostic is leading the charge from behind with Ricardo Panizza, but at the moment it's Michael Vink on the bottom of your screen at 12 watts per kilo. He's kicked. He wants to go clear of Yunfei Wu. He wants to take the win today as well, and he's going to do that. Michael Vink is going to take the win today on the Sunday race club in category 1. Yunfei Wu is going to come through in second. Big sprint here. Ollie Jones now winding it up. Jones has gone. Jones has kicked. Big style. He wants third place. Panizza, Paradians and Chugles are all lining up behind, but Jones goes through in third. Paradians will take fourth. Oh, and Knudsen may get the 5th place.
Wow, what a ride by Michael Vink to take the victory. You saw him just giving the camera away there, just wiping himself down after that massive effort. A big thumbs up, taking away the victory there today. Vink taking away the win from Wu, from Jones. All riders have been riding strongly all week long. Paradians, great sprinter, comes through taking fourth. And Michael Knudsen, after all that work he's been doing all week long, in 5th place. brilliant racing in category and in all of our races.
Yeah, absolutely superb. And for Yasin Panitsa, Tugels, Kaminsky, and Skierski round out the top 10 today in category 1.
So don't forget, you can catch up with all of the race results on mywhoosh.com, and that is /results. Don't forget, you get a lot of detail also on the MyWhoosh info page. That's mywhooshinfo.com as well. Well, today has been a day. They say when the cat's away, the mice will play. Today, they didn't just ride like cats, they rode like big cats. I'll tell you something, when you hear that roar from a big cat, from a tiger or a lion today, that's what we saw, because they came out and rode really well. 5 of our riders really taking their opportunities. Patrick Mortek taking his 3rd win in category 5. Petter in category 6, Lucas Petter in category 6, Pierre Fell in category 3, James Harvey in category 4, Todd Allen Young in category 2, all taking their 1st win on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. Todd Allen Young, he's ridden 55, his 1st podium, it's a win. Michael Vink, though, that's his 49th win. Half century coming up next time he takes a win for Vink. I can't imagine it will be all that long, but we'll have to see, because this is Cycling Esports. This is the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. Qualifier race number 3 done and dusted. Don't forget, you can join me, Matt Payne, and you can get in touch with me at Matt Fixer Payne, and you can join Emma. Get in touch with Emma at biking_Emma for MyWhoosh's time trial. It's the MyWhoosh Championship time trial stage number 6 on day 7.
Love a stage race.
It starts to go slightly out of sync there as they go through. Emma does indeed love a stage race, so do I. Please join us for that. You can get notified whenever we go live on MyWhoosh by hitting that subscribe button. A brilliant day's racing in the women's and men's races. Qualifier number 4 is coming up next Sunday. Get those entries in for that, and for those public qualifiers, see how you can do up against the best in the world. We are going to be diving out of the studio very briefly. We are actually on the mic again today. I hate to remind Emma of this. We're going to be actually putting words to the XC Mountain Bike Eliminator if Emma stays awake that long, because that's coming out very much later, about another 8 hours from now. Before we come back for that time trial, I hope you'll join us for that. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you everybody who's commented on the live chat. Thank you very much to the team behind the scenes, and our riders, of course, for keeping us entertained. But from Emma, myself, and everybody here, stay safe. We'll see you very shortly. Goodbye.